once again, welcome back to the PUBG Mobile Club Open Fall Split 2020 South Asia Region Semi Finals. My name is Varun Super Johnny John, and this event is sponsored by the Oppo Reno 4, which has the VOOC 4.0 flash fast charging, the 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage, and it also has the 6.4-inch beautiful AMOLED display. And as I've introduced our sponsors, allowed me to introduce my co-host, co-caster, co-analyst as well for this evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be the very talented Fixes sitting beside me. So how are you feeling? Semi-finals, and today we are heading into the second half of the round robin.
Absolutely. I was just going to get there. We have reset. It's kind of a reset where all the teams have played their 8 games. Now we just have 8 more remaining, and now all the teams that have kind of messed up during the first half have to step up. If they do not, then they're going home.
Yeah, they are going home indeed. And how do you not mess up? You have to finish in the top 10, because 6 teams have been invited from the performance during the previous PMCO that was in the spring, and 10 teams from here, from these semi-finals, will be moving up into the finals and playing them for the slots and for the prize money as well. And it is there are a lot of things on the line, as we say, the prize money, the slots for PMPL Season 2. These things are teams are going to be battling it out with the 8 games that they have left, because as Fixes pointed out, it is sort of like a reset wherein the groups will go against each other in the same order that they did when the semi-finals started. The only difference comes down to the fact that the points are not reset. They still have earned the points from the very first 8 games that they played. Now the matches are starting to go in the negative side of things. So when the semi-finals started, we were sitting at 16 matches remaining. Now it's 8 matches remaining. Then it's going to be 7, 6, 5, and they keep on getting less and less. And as I said, there's a lot on the line. Let's have a look at the prize money distribution and how the slots are going to be assigned for PMPL Season 2.
There you go. The first place receiving $2,600. For the second position, we have $1,600. Third and fourth share a prize money of $1,100. But alongside that, that's the thing that they are all battling out for, the PMPL slots for the Season 2. And 5th to 16th will be getting $1,100. And 17th to 32nd, the teams that we are going to see getting eliminated after the semi-finals, they will be receiving the $600 alongside the teams that had participated during the group stage.
Yeah, exactly. Group stages, because group stages started with 32 teams. Now we are down to 24, and after this, 10 teams. Once again, top 10 teams will get a chance to move to the finals, and it's going to be 16 teams in the finals. In total, 6 have been invited, and it is going to be intense PUBG Mobile action over there as well. But along with the prize pool, we have to talk about how do you compete for things when you're playing matches in a league. It's through the points and the point distribution system. It is a pretty much a standard now.
Yeah, it's absolutely a pretty much standard system, and we've been following this from quite some time. For the first position, you get 20, and down you go, you get 14, 10, and it kind of reduces down until an 11 on the 11th position, where you just get that 1 point, and it goes on till 16th position. But the highlighted factor about this points distribution is that 1 point for that 1 kill.
Yeah, 1.1 kill. We have seen incredible performances yesterday. I mean, in 2 games, in fact, we did get to see those 18 kill markers being touched. Along with that, yesterday was also quite interesting and quite intense for the team of PWP Gaming, as they got 2 chicken dinners, one on the map of Sanhok and the other one on Vacandy.
Well, you talk about PWP. There are a lot of teams that have stepped up, and the best part and the worst part is we had Soulz of BD getting a chicken dinner in the first game itself, but they could not carry it forward, and they kind of messed it up in the later stages. And let's take a look at the groups that will be playing, and we start off with Group A. We have Rivals X, E2S, OPM, A1 Esports, High Voltage. This is the group that did set out yesterday, so they were watching everything keenly under their eyes. And right now, for Archangels, RisingNepal, Kira Peace Flow, Team HARAME. So a lot of teams are over here that have yet to prove a point. But in the Group A, we see a lot of promising teams.
Yeah, a lot of promising teams, and a few teams that we do want them to step up. But Group B has Phantom Esports, Gods REBORN, Angry Springs, and PWP Esports, which I hope they carry the same momentum that they built for themselves yesterday. Moving forward in Group B is going to be KSX, DoyenKnightSs, Trusty Process, and Abrupt Slayers. So these two groups, A and B, will be playing today, but Group C is going to be the group that's going to be sitting out the matches. It's going to be PN Crew, Wolves Den, Satan, and DRS Gaming. PN Crew, they tried to be consistent. We saw a lot of good fights coming in from them, but the closing was the tough part. And then we have Soulz of BD, a team that had an amazing start to the day, but not an amazing finish. Venom Legends, SOLTISQUAD, and 7C Esports. So most of the teams from Group B and C, they will be required to step up.
Yeah.
As I was saying, Kira P slow. I want to see them perform the same way they did during the group stages, because right now the team is sitting in a really tough position. They are sitting on, if I'm not correct, if I'm not wrong, it's the third last spot in the leaderboard.
Yeah, absolutely. And the worst part over here is if you compare with Pakistan and South Asia, you've got limited amount of slots. You've just got 10 slots. 16 teams won't be going. There are already 6 teams waiting for you. So you really have to step it up and not just be in some middle areas, say around 13th or 14th, because you can't leave things to the last day. Because during the last days, we see a lot of, strategy changing, teams going YOLO, so you can't leave things down to that point.
Definitely, you can't do that, and you can't even take a chance to mess up one game right now if you are a team from Group A. Because Group A, today they're going to be going up against Group C. Tomorrow they go up against today they go up against Group B. Tomorrow it's going to be Group C, and after that their matches are over. They're going to be done with their semi-finals games, and if they do not have a good standing, if they are not in the top 10, that's basically going to be bye-bye.
Yeah, absolutely. The reverse countdown, as we like to say, has already begun, and it's today that they have to step up. And talking about Group A, a lot of teams have been playing really good, but if you take a look at Group B, when you come down to see Phantom Esports way down, so for them to actually have a chance to qualify, they have to make sure that both the days they at least get something around 2-3 chicken dinners and a very consistent finish. And by very consistent finish, I'm talking about top 5, at least get around 10 or 12 points per game.
Well, yeah, I completely agree with that. If we're talking numbers, I think a little bit more than 12 points should do the trick. They have to go for 15 to 16 points on average in every single game. Getting a chicken dinner is not going to be important. If you can just maintain the average, that is good enough. But let's have a look at the schedule for the day, as well as we do see the map rotations come in. And it is going to be 3 of the same maps, as we always see: Erangel, Sanhok, and Erangel in the same order, first 2 and number 4. But the third match today is going to be on Fix's favorite map, Miramar.
Yes, and I finally will be getting the chance to cast it. I've been missing it for quite some time. I really want to see how the teams are going to fare off against each other during Miramar. It comes down to your raw skills, raw aiming skills, how you traverse around. So all your basics in PUBG Mobile are definitely put to a test in Miramar.
One thing that's definitely pushed to the limit for the teams is going to be, as I said, positioning in those team fight. That in Miramar is more important than in any other map. But as we talk about things, the very first match on Erangel, it is live already, and the trajectory is on our screens, and it starts from Milta Power and goes all the way towards the Georgopol containers and ends right underneath the North Georgopol city. Interesting thing, you remember yesterday where the circles came in, right? Both of them.
The shorelines, as we call it. But today, let's see, we saw a lot of eastern circles yesterday happening around Erangel, but today we are certainly interested to see where the circle goes. I want to see a western circle today, because in the Pakistan region we did see a shore circle, but right now, taking a look at how the flight path trajectory is going, none of the teams are gonna have a lot of trouble, because this is a classic Erangel flight path. But if you take a look at teams, I want to see if we are gonna witness some weird drops, some new drops coming in, because there is a set of team that's new against going against each other. They've played against each other in Erangel, but today's Miramar is gonna be definitely very interesting.
Yeah, it is gonna be interesting indeed, and we've been liking a lot of more matches in the South Asia region just because of how how crazy the game sort of becomes in the later stages, just because of the circle being in really weird situation. Usually, the meta has sort of remained the same throughout the different regions when the group stage started, but in the semifinals, it has been all over basically. And talking about some of the things that are basically all over. It is a good spread coming in towards the eastern side, but the western side seems a little bit more clustered. And the circle, it is centered around, I have to say, the northern part of the ruins area.
Yeah, absolutely. Towards northern circle that we get to see right now. But Team Phantom, oh my goodness, two big Goliaths over here. Team Phantom versus Team High Voltage. We can see Sallu Whitey having been spotted high 9-7, and they just it's just a 1v1 fight happening right now, but we gotta also see as to where the rotations are coming in. Are the backups in over there? See, a lot of teams have even not taken the drop, and already some fights are gonna break out. And Trigger completely landing just below the vehicle, having a good idea as to where to land. Now he will just be going into his territory, loot his stuff, and as we speak, Johnny, oh my goodness, 9-7, he might just be in a bit of a pickle right now because all his teammates are somewhere around the school apartments area. And now if Team Phantom decides to take a early rotation and decides to push him down, and this can be a good opportunity for them to capitalize on this, gain some momentum, and get that chicken dinner.
Yeah, gaining momentum is going to be pretty good, but High Voltage, this is one team that we were talking about as well. They've had an incredible run in the semi-finals, quite contrary to what they or how they qualified for the semi-finals from the group stages. But now, Phantom Esports right in front of Nay 7, they have actually moved out of the compounds, and him just being thrown down in the balcony is going to prove to be a good thing, as all three players of the opposing team are just going to abandon the location completely and just move out of there. It is quite good for High Voltage Esports, but Phantom Esports, look at the minimap, fixes one of the players, which is Frypan, actually landed quite close to the players of Kira Please Flow, and that is going to be so tricky to be in that situation. God's Reborn, they were on our screens a couple of seconds ago. The players landing towards the Georgia Pole City, and Rivals X, this team, they have gone towards the Zarki area.
Yeah, they have certainly gone towards the Saki area, and this is a team that has a lot of potential, as we can already see during the leaderboards. But a few teams have kind of been in a lot of trouble today. TDP, we do know that this is a team that has got a lot of potential for themselves, but they have not really stepped up. A few good games, but consistency is something I'm really looking for. And if you talk, see, Team High Voltage definitely comes into the equation alongside Team E2SOPM. I mean, they had just one day that did not really go according to how they planned. But apart from the fact that they are really safe and in a good position in the overall top 10, I believe. Then PWP, they have had a good run yesterday coming in for themselves. But the team that is actually really enjoying themselves, that is Team A1 Esports.
Yeah, A1 Esports, they have been pretty incredible. I completely agree with what you said about the team earlier on in the days during the semifinals. It's a pleasant surprise, I have to say, that the way the team has sort of figured out how they want to take things for themselves. The pacing in the team fight, the pacing in the game in general, that is really good from them. The way they have been sort of just taking their own time with things. It feels it sort of represent what Bigatron Red Aliens used to do in the matches during the World League, just playing really slow in the early game and then coming on with the aggression during the extreme late game stages of the match. But for A1 Esports, we're gonna have to see, can they take the matches for today in their favor as well, which is gonna be a pretty big question.
Yeah, it certainly is going to be a question. But talking about Team HARAME, this team has got some amazing players, have had some good rotations coming in for themselves. But Kira, well, they kind of, are dwindling around. They have their good days, like I mentioned, and they sometimes tend to mess things up. And Tokle, Don't Die, Jane, we've seen all these players, even Kurkure. The team synergy is really good if they could just work on the positioning they could do even better. But right now, taking a look at the circle, this opens up a lot of avenue. Especially, I would love to see an Everest circle. I would love to see that high ground fight happening. All the teams try to compete for that high ground advantage. So let's see which team usually goes over there and capitalize on that single position. But by the looks of it, Team PWP is looking to be heading out there, and alongside them we have the members of Team TDP who were actually approaching but have to retreat since their position has been compromised.
Yeah, the position definitely is going to be compromised, but the players are still moving. And Kira Peaceflow, they're going to be at a disadvantage of the fact that since even they have given away information, they can't charge in. The players, look at this, Tokle is just going to wait for his players to come up to him, and the team is going to look to regroup in a secure position from where they can just try and delay any sort of aggression that might come in from the players of TDP. I mean, at this point, if these lads had a DMR or a bolt action, they would have taken those shots. But moving mid-rotation, TDP just going for the safety of the compound and the squad house, that is pretty good. On the other side, another interesting thing, DoyenKnightSs, AGS, that is Angry Springs, and the players from 4 Archangels going for super late rotation. But A1 Esports, they spot out the team of HARAME. Shots were fired. Some damage has been given to the player GD, but HARAME still managed to get away.
Yeah, they certainly did manage to get away, and Team HARAME using their substitute. So this is a new thing. So it's a good change of plans. You get a new fresh player coming in, see what flavors he adds to your game. Does he actually synergize with you well? So yes, an experimentation is definitely good. But Lemmy, look at him opening the knockbout over there, taking down one player of Abrupt Slayers. And with that being said, Frypan has actually rushed into the compound. And what is happening with his buggy over there? This is absolute chaos. But Rafat, oh my goodness, he was oblivious of Legend's position and now is on the receiving end. But the knocks will come in, the trade fires will come in as Salu Whitey is marching down. But Heaven is there at the right nick of time, providing that perfect cover fire. But Frypan, he still has to engage against Novax. Can he be able to do that? Heaven goes for another knock. Now things have started to churn around, and well, there you go. Phantom Esports.
Yeah. I mean, there they go.
Yeah.
That was an exit for Phantom Esports over there. But it was Heaven versus Lemmy, and I wonder, that was so lucky for Heaven. He just swiped towards Lemmy and the shots connected straight to the head. It was just a spray in extreme close range combat, and at that time you definitely have to spray and pray. But what is this? What is happening over here? KS Axe, and right next to them is going to be the team for PWP.
Yeah.
Oh, it is E2SOPM, sorry.
He just passed beside him. Steelix, he did not want to take those fights out there. That is certainly what is kind of, visible out there. But right now, RisingNepal, Z1 Crazy, just beside Husky. Oh my goodness, is he gonna take those shots? And I think Husky is one of those very famous and very talented girl gamer coming in from their region, and we just have to see as to how she is gonna play with her teammates. God's Reborn, a team that has entry, who has been phenomenal, and they've also gone in for some substitute plays out there. We just hope that it works out right for them, but things did certainly not work out right for the players from Team Phantom. I mean, every single thing in the push was wrong. Initial one knock and they decided to go for the push. The ramens were not correct, and when the players kind of charged in, and it was Rafat to be precise, he did not even look at the smoke, he did not even lob a grenade or anything. He just did go in the other direction before getting taken down. But Heaven, the way he played, I mean, we have to give kudos to the lad. He was amazing over there.
Yeah, he was amazing indeed, and it's going to be quite an interesting situation for the team as they move forward as well. But as we were saying, teams from Group A is really crucial for the teams to step up right now and start performing in the matches today and tomorrow. Because if they miss this opportunity, that's going to be it. That's going to be the last opportunity. These are the last few matches that they have left. Today, they're going to be done with with 4 more. After that, they're going to be playing the last 4 games tomorrow in the semi-finals. The Circle taking a shift up north, and it looks like it's going to head to the shooting range area. Now, teams are still going to be guessing. It's going to be a gamble whether to make the rotation up north or just stay on the main island, just in case there's a drastic shift and the Circle comes down. So this also makes things a lot more interesting if you're the IGL of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have seen this kind of circle. It can also go all the way down to its water city, where none of the teams are over there. So yes, we just have to anticipate as to where the circle is going to be. And all the teams have it right now made it inside the circle. But the next shift, that is going to be very crucial, since we can already see a kind of a curveball out there. I believe the shift might be somewhere down the center, and Abrupt Slayers are definitely going to be in a good position, at least till the next circle.
Yeah, at least till the next cycle. Completely agree with that. Even further than that, because major shifts usually, I think, 4th circle onwards, you do get an idea where it's going. So 3rd circle rotation, I think I completely agree with what you said. But on the other side, okay, let's talk about how the teams are already clustered in the smack center of the circle. The last time we saw a situation like this was while watching a few matches for the Africa region, and teams over there like to take their time with their fights, a little bit slower pace, but over here we know the players are a bit more aggressive than that. So utility usage is going to be so important. We talk about this every day. When you're out in the open, use your smokes. Have a lot of smokes. I mean, at minimum, every single player needs to carry 5 smokes.
I think one of the most underrated skills in PUBG Mobile is a driver. But right now, we will talk about driving. But Sonam is definitely going to be on the receiving end, as he has been knocked. And Abrupt Slayers, they've got 4 kills. They are dead smack in the center. And where there you go, the kill has also been confirmed. And rivals as well are off to a good start. But like I was talking about driving, it being a very underrated skill. A lot of players do not realize that a lot of knocks do happen while you're traversing around the map. You need to know all the riches. You need to know how to ram in a very high intense situation when you are trying to go in for the push. When you know your opponent will push in at any single moment. You need to know when to press the booster and when to just ride along safely. So a lot of things are there. If that could be worked upon, if a team has a good driver, then certainly a team can have some easier rotations inside those final circles.
Yeah, the final circles are going to be important. Yeah, it is going to be easier to get in there. But once you get in there, you have to be able to fight it out as well. You have to be. Otherwise, just getting the placement points, we've already talked about this, you need to keep a balance, and it's better if you're getting at least 2 to 3 kills to make sure that you're not going out on just the placement points alone. Even if you finish second with 0 kills, there is definitely going to be a team that is going to drop you down in the standings. But this time, DoyenKnightSs won real, and let's talk about this. Using the M16 to spot out the players of A1 Esports and going for the shots on them. But this is something really, really good. He's doing shooting inside the smoke right now, just spamming those shots, hoping he can catch someone off guard. But he is not going to catch anyone, as the players have split up. 2 players right outside, and A1 Esports on the other side just securing the kill for Ghatak from HARAME. PWP Dalion just jumping and trying to see if he can peek out the players from Abrupt Slayers, who are holding their stronghold quite nicely. That is the squad house right on the other side of this ridge. I've been in this situation before, exactly at the same squad house. This fight, it is quite tricky to have, especially when you have another team on your flank.
Yes, absolutely. And they've had a good run yesterday, and they will be looking forward to carry this momentum forward. But right now, Bolihang, he's got his M24 on his 6-time scope. This time around, looking to find those heads to pop. But these players, alright, Team PWP has been very unexpected. And yes, they do carry a huge name. They've got some good players, but at the same moment, they have to convert those players, they have to convert those statistics into numbers. So let's see how does Team PWP fare out today, as we are going to witness the circle taking a shift. And right now, what I believe, it's going somewhere down even, or might just throw a curveball. I'm just waiting for the circle to pop up any moment, and yes, it does. Goes up all the way up north, opening a lot of the possibilities, a lot of hill fights. Those ridges on under the hills are definitely going to be very crucial. We've got some dips there in the ground as well, so we have to, see if the teams are very well versed with that map part of the map, because that position usually we do not get to see a lot of circles out of it.
Yeah, I mean, completely agree with that. But just because something doesn't happen quite often doesn't mean you can't expect it to happen for you. I mean, if you're not going to expect the worst position, when you are put in that, you might just go down. I mean, Steel Shot did expect this, has taken down one of the players, that is Assassin from the side of High Voltage, but he's going to be traded out as Aussie is the man who finishes them off. And Aussie, once again, focusing his attention towards the players of Steelix. A lot of M16s in the hands of the players. Quite an interesting weapon to use, but on the other side, A1 Sky Shot with the spray of the Scarrel is going to try and catch someone off guard.
Yeah, absolutely. Shoykot definitely being the last member alive from his team. And we'll have to see as to how he performs, because he's got a lot of potential. He's got a lot of talent in there. But look at the members of Team High Voltage. They've got that bunker for their cover, but E2S OPM alone taking down FT. And Steelix will be deploying that smoke grenade over there, being the support for his stream. He does have to do the job. And Harame, like we can see, have been eliminated by the members of from Team Angry Springs.
Yeah, it is going to be quite interesting. Angry Springs as well are another really good team, but it is sort of, even yesterday we saw this. They, in one game, had amazing team fights and amazing kills, but in the next game we saw them fall down as well. So consistency is something that the players need to figure out how they want to get a little bit more consistent performance from their side. One thing about the players from Angry Springs is that is going to work out in their favor, that the players have a lot of experience. But on the other side, God's Reborn getting into the action with the player of 4 Archangels. One of the lads has been taken down. That's going to be Abrupt. 2 players remaining. Clutch was finished off earlier. Gentlemen, he's going to cook the nade. Throw it towards Mr. Wise. It is not going to connect. That's a little bit too far. But boom twice on the other side, giving revive to his teammate. That is Abrupt. Mr. Wise has been taken down as well. Another nade coming in towards the direction of Boom Twice. He's quite close to the player. Husky, he's inside the car. Boom Twice hiding inside the vehicle. The smokes are going to save him for a little while. But no, the vehicle gets blown up. And all of the players from 4 Archangels get taken down in an instant by the team of God's Reborn. They take those 4 kills like they were just lying there. The points for their taking.
Yeah, absolutely. God's Reborn off to a very good start today, as they had a very bad day yesterday. So today, eyes will definitely be on towards them. But Loon, as you can see, he has spotted down the players from Team Kira. And, well, the members from Team Kira have a strategic advantage. Those grenades are being tossed out. Mera's also in a bit of a sticky situation over here. Loon taking a lot of chip damage from the grenade. But Dalion will find Nemesis in his crosshairs, will definitely knock him down. But Hunter keeping the spray on. He gets that hit marker, but his gun goes into a reload mode right now. Oh my goodness, he definitely did get that knock. And after this, we have to see what goes on. But well, the entire squad of Kira Peace Flow being wiped out by one single member, that is Hunter.
Yeah, Hunter just, well, hunting down the players that were running towards him like a deer, and Hunter was the vehicle with his headlights focused on the on the animals in front of him, finishes them off, turns around, and is ready to take the next fight. But this is going to be quite an interesting situation. Look at this, Abrupt Slayers, they're split up. Nova is in a really bad situation, but look at the trajectory of the nade. It's going to be so close. Do they catch them off guard? But no, Steelix is going to be spotted out by Mifsol as he's going to be taken down. And the other players of KSX, oh, he's stealing those kills. E2S OPM, they definitely know how to collect the points for themselves. Sitting on 5 kills right now. The other 2 players towards the right-hand side of Mifsol, but he spots out Nova. And in a complete spray, as soon as he hits the 0 bullet marker, he's going to get the knock.
Yeah, absolutely. He did get that knock, but right now Nemesis also has traversed around before getting taken down by the players over there from PWP. And right now we will have to see how things shape out. Trigger is right in front of him. He gets knocked as well. Had a sliver of HP, but could not really survive. HARAME taking down Sugar, but entry, he has been denied the entry inside the circle as he'll be also knocked down as well. A lot of teams are falling down over here. Daughter in the meanwhile finishing off FT in the process. Gentleman taking down Muffin. The kill feed is absolutely dancing, but look at Team God's Reborn. They are showing a lot of aggression and will finish the last player of Team Angry Springs. With that, they've got themselves the second squad wipe. But amidst everything, we see other fights breaking down as well. But now, Hunter, being that absolute patient player that he is and shooting at the right moment, he knows where the smoke is. He just has to lob one grenade. But no, the shots are coming in from elsewhere. Finally, he gets taken down, and Dalion will make no mistake in finishing him off.
Yeah, the finish off and the point being secured is definitely going to be a good thing. But PWP, do you think, are we going to get the same double chicken dinner from this team that we got yesterday? Or are they just going to take another one and just take the crown away from the very first position and be standing on the top of the leaderboard right now? Oh, Nay7 with a nade is going to get a knock on one of the players from DoyenKnights, and that is going to be it. DoyenKnightSs in so much trouble, I think, as most of the players have been taken down. Disconnect was finished off. Divu is going to be knocked down, and just two players left. That is Rules and one Rillen.
Yeah, there are two players left from Team DoyenKnightSs, a team that we know have been doing so well. But Team E2S OPM, 7 kills already, and the majority going towards Hunter. Now that he is out of question, people have to see as to which other players are going to step up. Is it going to be Totter? Is it going to be someone else? Mefsol per se, because he is an amazing DMR player. I've seen that in the past, and he has been constantly delivering that for his team. A team from Maldives, like we love to mention, having those players from Sri Lanka as well. But right now, E2S OPM, they have to get inside the circle, and they have to battle a lot of teams out. And we just have to see as to how they are strategizing. But because by the movements, what I can really feel right now is they want to take a few knocks and then push in. But right now, talking about pushes happening, HARAME does go in onto its players of Team RisingNepal, eliminating them, getting that shack for themselves, and will take control of that area.
I mean, area control is going to be so important, since the circle is going to be on the northern side of the shooting range. That is an open area. There's going to be a couple of houses. All right, they are going to be taken over by the blue zone soon, but the teams over there, once they abandon, they are going to be in a tricky situation. But PWP, Dalion, the beautiful nade, is going to make sure that the gentleman from God's Reborn is going to be in so much trouble. But Abrupt Slayers being spotted out by Totter and his team, them being taken down one after the other. God's Reborn in so much trouble. Dalion charging down the hill. He's going to take some shots. One Rillen is going to be blown up. PWP, they are going full crazy in this final few situations. We're down to 7 teams alive, and this team is still somehow trying to survive. And that is why I was saying that running down the hill out in the open was such a bad idea. Dalion has been finished. Charu was taken down a moments ago. Abrupt Slayers taken exit as Aussie from the team High Voltage is going to spot him out and finish him off. Entry with that nade. The two players right inside the smoke. If this one lands perfectly, he's going to get the finish on the entire squad of PWP. But he's throwing the nades towards the left side while the players are positioned towards the right-hand side. And that is why Bolihang is going to get this easy punish. But no, gentlemen, he was back on his feet and he eliminates the entire squad of PWP.
Oh my goodness, what is happening right now? God's Reborn managing to, get the revives on their players, as well as taking kills simultaneously. There you go, gentlemen reviving Husky. One more player down. Entry has already been revived. But DoyenKnightSs, how are they still alive? Rules barely surviving with a sliver of HP. Just has those energy drinks. And oh my goodness, it was cursed. Team E2S OPM taking down the last player. That's Rules over there. We still have 12 teams. It's 4 players alive for each team. So yeah, let's see. Well, what's going to happen? I guess I did my math wrong out there.
Well, I think God's Reborn, this time they have come to qualify for the finals. Sitting on 11 kills in this game already. And in these final moments, if they can actually manage to fight the same way, just the same way that they fought PWP a couple of seconds ago, this is going to be their chicken dinner. The only team that's going to come close to stopping them is going to be the squad of High Voltage. And what was that? Did I see one nade 2 kill.
Yes,
And
you were right. The entire squad.
yeah, E2S OPM on the
Decimated.
receiving. They were on the receiving end for the first time, I think, of the utility.
Yes, absolutely. And it was just one grenade that took to take them all down together. But there you go. Things are still constant. Team High Voltage, we have seen them in this position. Aussie definitely be the man that we have to talk about. But we have the team from Rivals, Mr. Boro, in fact, surviving over there in the nearby vicinity, as Aussie will be taking down Windy God X. But Mr. Boro will be finding Assassin. Now Aussie will be spraying him down and putting an end to his misery over there, as Team High Voltage and the players from Team God's Reborn are the two teams that survive. Now it's just a matter of those smokes being deployed that stands between them like a clouded wall. We just have to see who gets that final opening. But if you talk about position, God's Reborn definitely do have a strategic advantage, utilizing that ridge to absolute perfection. And this is where your map knowledge comes into play. This is where all that grinding that you've done across Erangel comes into existence, and Entry will definitely get that first entry knock. And now we just have to see as to how they are going to capitalize on this situation.
Yeah, the capitalizing on the situation is going to be a little bit tricky, since there's going to be the risk that these guys have to peek. The only advantage they have was one knock. They're going to get the second one. Assassin. Why was he moving out of the smoke and charging in for the flank out in the open? As these players from God's Reborn, they have been brutal so far. All right, Hellraisers, they're split apart in 3 different directions. Well, one of the players was knocked down. The revive is going to come in as well. And Aussie, he's going to be spotted out with a nade. Aussie, yet again in the action, takes down Husky. He has to throw this one a little bit to the left so he can get 2 knocks and a finish over there. Husky, he is going for a revive, and the gentleman is going to be the one who's going to try and revive him. Entry right behind him. The players from God's Reborn, they're grouped up right next to each other. If there is one nade that comes in their direction, that's going to be it. That's going to be the chicken dinner being handed over to the players of High Voltage. The split I like from High Voltage, all the players prone down. But the disadvantage arises in the fact that they are going to get shot straight to the head if the players actually spot them out. Oh, Windy God X is going to be taken down by Havoc. He's still sitting on the flank, right on the edge of the blue zone. This is going to be a crucial fight. 3 versus 4 situation right now. High Voltage, they are being really careful as to not to be a little bit too aggressive and not to get punished for that aggression.
Yeah, absolutely. And right now, I guess Team High Voltage have lost their chance. Is that a nade? Oh my goodness. No, that's a smoke. That's a smoke. Even I was wondering if that would be a nade. Because if the nades were there, they would have already been shot out. But right now, Gentleman deciding to make his push happen and try to get themselves inside the circle. God's Reborn, they are absolutely using all those utilities to perfection. Managing to go on for the revives on their players. Have their 12 kills registered to their name. They are completely dominating right now, and it clearly shows how the presence of one player, the difference of one player can change the game around. But there you go, Assassin confirming that kill onto its Windy God, and Aussie getting that second knock, gets that second confirm as well. It's Husky and her teammate out there, but Husky going in for a good fight, but gets traded off. In the meanwhile, the last player surviving, but the chicken dinner will be taken by none other than High Voltage.
Well, we know they always bring in the high voltage action, and this time as well, just taking down the informed players of God's Reborn. I mean, the way they played this match straight from the get-go, it was pretty incredible. The fights while coming down from the mountain that was on the southern side of the shooting range, those were supposed to be tricky, and God's Reborn just taking one team at a time, just focusing on one side of the mountain and just basically not flustering themselves up by being overwhelmed from multiple fights. You have to make sure in that situation that you are keeping your position in mind, your opponent's position in mind, not just the team that you're fighting, but the others as well. That's how they'd sort of figured it out, just completely isolating one team and taking that fight at a time, and then moving forward and then taking care of the teams that they left behind.
So, well, if you want to break the fight that happened, like you mentioned, High Voltage could have eliminated God's Reborn way earlier. The moment when Aussie got that grenade knock onto its Husky, so he was in a very good flank position. What could have happened is Assassin could have taken his vehicle, would have gone for the push as a bait. They still had 2 players to come in from behind. And, that could have been a perfect finish because the moment he would have come in with his car, the players would have gone in the open to shoot. And that's where Aussie could have strike from a flank angle and had two other players kind of providing in that cover fire. So that really shaped out so very well. But they did not resort to that. They instead went for the conventional method of finding the enemy at the worst position, over peaks done, and a lot of mistakes from God's Reborn. They did not really spread out.
Exactly. We talked about this before as well. We talked about this in the group stages that players, instead of being proactive with their own playmaking, rely more on the fact that the opponents are going to make mistakes. And that's what happened in the final fight, as Vixus so beautifully explained. It was the players of God's Reborn with the overpeaks coming in not just once. It was from the very get-go.
Multiple,
it was the moment, I mean, the very first player, Husky, was knocked down. And then Windy God X was the one who went for the peak. And all those things combined are the reason why High Voltage took the chicken dinner in the game. But now, time to have a look at the MVP for the match and see which one individual player is going to have the most amazing stats.
And there you go.
Why do we ask?
Why do we ask? Just give him the MVP already. 1297 massive damage. And yes, in the last fight, it was our man Aussie who has been phenomenal, getting those early knocks, getting those entry into the fights. And he completely just put High Voltage in such a good position as to they had nothing to lose. They just knew that they had to finish that last player. Just go in, get the kill, get the chicken dinner, be happy.
Yep, I mean, he is always happy, even with the 1v1 clutch. If you remember, that was a couple of days ago. An amazing performance from Aussie.
It's Venom Legends.
Yeah, it was against Venom Legends, and it is this one individual player, but not just him. It's the way his teammates support him as well. His teammates just being in the perfect position to trade him out at a constant point, and they were ready. The strategy explained with the Chargent coming in from the right-hand side, if you're looking at it from the God's Reborn perspective, and Aussie being on the left, it would have been just an instant collapse on those players and an early finish. But God's Reborn, even they were being really, really careful and on their toes and would have tried to hold it out. Let's have a look at the top 5 players and see if any other players from either the squad of High Voltage are going to be there. Oh, God's Reborn, they have Windy God X with 5 kills, but the damage is going to be a little bit less as well for him. 658 damage in total.
Look at his damage. 4 kills, but 1000 damage for him. And so has Hunter.
Yeah, he was taking down players on the other side of the shooting range while coming down the mountain. So, an incredible performance from the players of PWP. I was hoping to see them in the final fight, the way they were charging in towards the shooting range. But, unfortunately, God's Reborn were the ones who stopped them in their tracks.
Yeah, God's Reborn took a very early good position in the circle. They knew, somehow predicted, the predictions coming in. For everyone has a different kind of prediction. But, if you kind of ask a layman as to how would you kind of distinguish that fight, how would you explain it? I would say it all came down to patience. To the one who had the highest patience. And somewhere down the line, God's Reborn kind of just got a little bit too impatient over there, dropping those smokes. They had to get inside circle, but it was all the 4 players moving in together. Had they provided cover fire, things would have been different otherwise.
Things would have been different. Talking about different things, did you see Miff Soulz damage? He had 5 kills, he had 300 damage.
Well, that is PUBG
points,
Mobile, right?
Points
matters. Because no one's going to ask you, bro, how much damage did you dish out? There is no prize there for the highest damage dealer, but there certainly is for those MVP coming in. And for that, you need to rack in a lot of kills.
Yeah, you need to rack a lot of kills. Also, 5 points for his team. That's what I want to focus, because now it's time to earn those points and move into the finals. So that's the top 10 teams are going to be moving into the finals. And even if Miff Soulz did not dish out the damage, him getting those 5 crucial points for his team was so important. Well, now they're going to be 5 points over, or 5 points ahead of where they were originally supposed to finish. And we will have a look at that as well after we have a look at the match summary. We'll get to know how many points did each of these individual teams get from this match, because we will be looking at the match standings.
Yeah, absolutely. The match standings. I'm really waiting for, because, this was a tricky circle, okay? A lot of teams have never seen that. And let's not further wait anymore and just take a look at the match standings, which will be in front of our screen just about now. And there you go, 10 kills for Team High Voltage, 30 points out of this particular game. But God's Reborn, 12 krills. I mean, they are still a happy bunch of people.
I mean, and look at this. This is where the 5 kills become really, really crucial for the squad of E2S OPM. Originally, they had 4-5 from if Sol makes it 9-17 points in total, and that pushes them ahead of Rivals X and a little bit closer to qualifying. I mean, E2S OPM, they hold a really good position in the top 8 right now, so this is just going to solidify that even further and just cement their position going on in the finals. High Voltage 30 point, an amazing performance, got REBORN as well.
Kills, they've got good number of kills. Abrupt Slayers. And just a 5 points, but from position. But, kills is where they, kind of got them that boost over on the 5th position.
It makes up for taking an early exit.
Yeah, it definitely does. And we've constantly been harping upon this single topic. Abrupt Slayers getting off to a very, very good start, eliminating Team Phantom, who is having a rough patch. So now we have to really reconsider. But right now, taking a look at the bottom half of the table, a lot of surprises out there. You have Phantom, you have HARAME, you have 4 Archangels, you even have A1 Esports, a team that was consistent throughout the semi-finals, do find themselves having a rough start.
I mean, what do we say about A1 Esports if they played the first 8 games out of their minds and shocked everyone, and if they mess up the next 8? Well, even I don't know where they're going to stand after that.
This has happened during the group stages where they kind of started off with a little slow. They were getting those kills, but possession points were the problem for that team. And somehow down the line, they did fix that up in those early initial days of the semi-finals, taking those chicken dinners, always maintaining that top 3 position. But today, maybe it's just a bad game because I would not blame the players because it was a very tricky circle. A lot of different things were happening, so they could not really capitalize on that thing. So let's see what happens in the next game of Sanhok.
Well, definitely Sanhok is going to be so important for this team and for the team of Kira Peace Flow, Phantom Legends as well, because now I guess it is going to be starting to get a little bit too late for these teams to start to perform. They need to secure the less number of games they have. That means their average points per match is just going to keep on going up. And that's going to put the teams under so much pressure that they just might crack. No one wants that to happen, especially not the fans and the players as well. So the next match, I think teams are going to re-strategize and come in a little bit stronger. But that match is going to happen after a very short break. So you guys stay tuned and keep watching. We'll be right back.
looks good, but to me, you're clearly the best. Don't touch me. That was close. Don't worry, I've got your back. Ready to rock. Go on, do your thing. Clearly, you are the best. Oppo Reno 4.
Hello everyone, and once again welcome back to the PMCO Fall Split 2020 South Asia Region Semi Finals, sponsored by the Oppo Reno 4. My name is Varun Super Johnny John. Joining me on the desk, ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be Fixes. And now it's time to step into the second game of today, which is going to be played on the map of Sanhok.
Well, Sanhok, we've had an unexpected start today,
Yeah.
with the circle going all the way up north, and the same can go for Sanhok. It's always unpredictable, it's always unexpected. All those teams, they have to make those quick rotations. Like we said, all the different maps have different flavors, and in Sanhok, you have to be really fast.
Yeah, you have to be really fast. You have to be aggressive. If you see someone, take them out and then move on really quickly from there, because third parties on this map are a totally different thing, and they feel normal when you're doing them, but they feel really, really bad when it's being happened to you. And it is quite interesting as to how the circles have been forming in Sanhok as well. Recently, yesterday, we had one up north, and putting teams in a really tricky situation, because just like on the map of Erangel, wherein if the circle is split between two islands, you have to gamble. Either it's going to be on one island or the other, and the crossing point, it becomes quite tricky. But on Sanhok, it's even worse, because there are three islands right next to each other, and they're mostly the circle can be on three of them at the same time.
You know what, Johnny? Today, I want to see something happening around docks. The circle going all the way down south. Maybe a cave circle.
Yeah.
What about it? I have never casted one in my entire life.
I mean, Cave is going to be good, but Docks, Camp Charlie, Bantai, all those southern locations, I think that's going to be pretty incredible. And the game is live as well, so we'll find out where the circle is going to be as the match moves on. The trajectory on our screen, starting from Kampong and going all the way towards Camp Alpha.
Yeah, and this looks promising. This looks promising for a dog circle over there. But yeah, like now that I did see cave, I want a cave circle, and I really pray to the PUBG gods to grant us our wish. Because imagine, you know, you have to make those rotations in. You have to have a very, you know, good approach, because you just can't jump from up above. If you're taking your parachute down below, then you're safe. But then you're risking your life. You have to take a good plunge of faith over there just to survive downstairs. And imagine all those teams rotating around in the final circle inside the cave. That would be amazing for them. But right now, taking a look at the teams that are dropping off, we have the players from Team A1 Esports going off to Hathen, a drop that usually Team BTR loves to go, but they kind of split their players. But we do see some action happening around the boot camp area this time, with three teams in the nearby vicinity. That is Team RisingNepal, TDP, and PWP.
Yeah, it is a triple sort of collision that might just happen. But the players of TDP, look at where they actually are. The four-man split drop. It is going to be really, really intense for them just to group up. The players can be spotted out and finished off in the early stages as well. Talking about PWP and RisingNepal, they are literally overlapping each other right now, as the players from PWP have gone for the triple warehouses on the backside of Bootcamp, and two of the players have split up from their teammates. RisingNepal have taken control of the Bootcamp area, and that could result in those weird early game interactions wherein you might lose out a few players, but you're going to pick off a few players from the opposing teams. And it is a trade that doesn't really favor one team completely. You have to be really careful on this one. And avoiding that early aggression is going to be so important. But talking about early aggression, the squad of Rivals X in the middle of nowhere, they can be surrounded. On one direction, it's going to be the squad of Angry Springs. And right behind them, it's going to be the players from TDP. So they have to be really careful.
Yeah, they certainly have to be very careful. But right now, We have the circle. Okay, it's broken my heart. Cave is inside the zone, but I don't think it's gonna favor over there. But right now, the players instead of our rivals, they've had a good outing last game. Mr. Boro surviving till the end, eventually up to the point to be taken down by Aussie. Had he not taken down Assassin over there, maybe Aussie would have never spotted him out. And between the fight going on between God's Reborn and Team High Voltage, he could have definitely capitalized on the situation. So, Johnny, this is where the entire concept of trigger discipline comes into the play. Had he held on just a bit longer, maybe things could have been different.
Yeah, things could have been different and things could have gone a different way. But talking about things going in bad positions, TDP, they're going to be getting a little bit too close for comfort up against the players of RisingNepal. They did hear them out. The nade is going to come in from Cooney and the nade from Miracle coming in his direction as well. But Cooney's nade did dish out some damage to Miracle. And Sugar on the backline can spot out these lads and give them cover fire. But that's going to be so tricky. He's going to have to cross that ridge and come to the direction. Cooney is running in towards his opponents, and this is going to be a really bad position for him to be in, as one of his teammates is still stuck in that shack while he has made his way all the way to his other two teammates. That's going to be crazy. And Sonam, so they have basically just left their own teammate behind. Oh, he got here. The players from TDP did not take the fight.
I do not know. We've seen a lot of unique things happening around, but right now maybe it's because of the lack of utilities. Could be it's just that they do not want to get into some engagement during the early phases of the game, because we do not want our teams going down at this particular stage. It's the game's just started. The teams have just managed to drop down, but the players from team RisingNepal, let's see what they are up to this game around, because they did not have a really good game in the first game of Erangel. They were eliminated by none other than I think Team High Voltage. They just went in. It was Assassin, I guess, assassinating two of their players inside the shack. So they will be looking for some kind of redemption happening around. But if you take a look at the circle, this is one circle that we have casted a lot of times. Goes somewhere around the barn area. So let's see this time around, where does it end?
Yeah, definitely. The ending point is going to be so crucial for it. If it goes towards the barn area, I mean, it all is going to end where it started, because that is where the spawn location is on this map. But on the other side, the players from Phantom are going to face some early aggression coming in towards their direction from the team and the players of HARAME, as the players were spotted out. The shots coming in did not, in fact, connect. But on the other direction, PWP, T2K, Chari, we have in front of our screens, has spotted out the players of HARAME in retaliation. So that's going to be a 3-squad fight that's going to be there. God's Reborn, Windy God X was taken down. The revive is going to come in by the hands of Entry, as they have traded out their own teammate by getting a knock from the opposing team. That is DoyenKnightSs.
And God's Reborn are in such a bad position right now with the way they are kind of playing around, because they are way too much in the open. And imagine if it's not just DoyenKnightSs, it's some other squad that can really come in and backstab them out. Imagine Team Phantom takes a rotation in, finds Giant Gentleman out of a very sticky situation and kind of takes him down. So that might be very risky for them. But Frypan getting a pick onto its Karthik from Team HARAME. And this is a team that has to, step things up. It's too late right now. They have to get those chicken dinners for themselves. But Rules, he's still knocked around. A Husky being the one change for the lineup of God's Reborn has managed to create a lot of difference in the gameplay. And the first game she comes in and they go for a prowl. They have 12 kills already. I have known this lady since a long time, and she was apparently a part of my team when I used to play in competitive. So I know the potential that she holds, and I just hope that God's Reborn does have a good outing.
Yeah, and look at this. She's still playing professionally while you are here with me.
Well, we've chose our own roads, and I wish her all the best. Yeah, because I was pretty bad at it. So there you go. The truth has been spoken.
Yeah, the truth has been spoken indeed. But now Husky and her teammates, they're gonna have to fight a way around these players of DoyenKnightSs. I mean, once again, it comes down to incentive. God's Reborn, they're gonna be in a wonderful position to just stop and gatekeep these players of DoyenKnightSs and just not allow them to move any deeper into this circle, because right now DoyenKnights are on the outer edge of the circle. They are still inside in the very first one, but they are on the outer side, and God's Reborn a little bit more in and closer towards the barn area. So they can potentially stop them and cause trouble for them in these early stages, but in the early stages no one really has an incentive to move out of their positions. No one really has an incentive to force a fight. The circle is just too big. The speed of the blue zone is just too slow. You have a lot of times to hold on to those positions and just try and see if your opponents make a really big mistake that you are just not going to ignore. And as we say that, we have Gole in front of us, who is prone down and trying to spot out the players from Rivals X.
And let's see what happens in this particular fight. We have Mr. Boro over there. That Miracle taking down Steelix over there. KSX, they've been mediocre as well. And right now, Miracle having that QBZ. I mean, I have mixed feelings about this weapon. This is a really good weapon in the close range. Can compete against likes of M4. But when it goes to that mid-range and long mid-range, that, those hybrid of fire is actually very troublesome for the recoil control.
Not just that, the spread pattern as well.
Yeah.
That is one thing that sort of, for me, is going to be pretty important when I'm going for the long range sprays. And I feel like the M4, by all this time, everyone has gotten used to it, the recoil, the spread of the gun. But alright, let's talk about positioning in this one. Kira Peace Flow, all 4 players spread out. The 2 players from Rivals on the lower ground, they are going to be pinned down. But TDP from the long distance, still trying to see if they can cause some trouble for the players of KSX. Steelix behind the rock has been spotted out by Shagar, one of the most experienced players in the lineup. He's going to take a few shots through the windows as he just falls down to around 80% health. Has the energy drinks available for him, but that was the last one. Now he has 2 first aids and 10 bandages. That's what he had, Shagar.
That's what he has. But let's see. Shagar, he's a talented lad, and he can figure his way out over this. But, I'm kind of worried about members from Team KS, because now they are in the open. Like we always talk, you should try to avoid being in the open. And if you are actually in the open, just be one with the nature. You do not have to shoot these shots, because you are giving away your location with all that gun sound coming in. And this is a small map. And, I can hear your shots. And some enemies do love to capitalize on the situation. Now, taking a look at the shift, it's, going to it. Ban.
Yeah, it is heading towards the barn area, and the teams are already starting to cluster up in that location as well. Only one team, the team that won the last game, High Voltage, are going for the super late rotation, and they can pull it off. We have seen that happen in the last game as well. Alright, moving on to some, I have to say, it is risky business. It's going to be still the Angry Springs, Rivals X, and the Kira Peace Flow fight. And Kira Peace Flow, they are trying to sandwich the players of Rivals X, but that fight can actually swing either way. We have seen this happen as well, wherein one team just avoids the team in the middle entirely and just goes for the team on the extreme opposite end of the scenario. So AGS and Kira Peace Flow, they might just fight it out amongst themselves without Rivals X ever getting involved.
Yeah, they certainly have to do that, but right now, DoyenKnights are in a very good position. They can take a good approach towards the circle. And Angry Springs, imagine the circle taking a lateral shift towards the quarry area, and you have all those dips to play around. You have to choose whether you want to play down under, because if you're down under, all the teams that are surrounding you can easily take you down. But then again, if the circle kind of favors you, you have got a good cover for yourself. You can change things around over there as well. But right now, we can see a kerfuffle going on between Team Phantom and Team HARAME over there, with a few knocks out over here. Right now, Team HARAME, these players, they have to do something. They've already lost one. A courtesy to, I guess, one of the players from Team Phantom, that was Rafat, who took that knock. But right now, Salu Whitey is actually pushing on towards Ghatak. IR2 is coming in for the flank. And there you go, Nang deploying all those grenades, but in vain. But Ghatak is the one man surviving. He has to do something and will not be able to, because Rafat will be taking down Ghatak in the process.
Yeah, Ghatak is going to be taken down and finished off as well, and the MK action also stepping in. So we have 2 MKs in this game that came in on the airdrop. who has the second one. And HARAME IR2 is going to be taken down by Rafa. The trade comes in from Nang, and Nang takes down the second one as well. He takes down Frypan. Saluwaiti charging it towards him. Oh, he's going to get the first aid done, 75% HP, but his armor is gone. And he's going to try and peek with the AK, take the fight, takes a pre-fire to his face. He's not going to survive for long. Drops down Saluwaiti to 50% HP. Oh, the pixels available on the back, but he's still going to be finished off. He should not have moved back. He should have stayed on the other side, and Saluwaiti would have gone on a reload then. But he did try his level best, taking down 2 players from this team of Phantom Esports. They do get those 4 kills, but they need to get those position points as well in this game now.
Yeah, they certainly have to get those position points for themselves. But, you know, I really felt instead of going for the heal, if he could have just held on to his grounds, held on to the nerves, because at that moment, Saluwaiti was just making a blind push. He knew that there was a player. You know, there's this famous Indian player called Snacks who believes in the concept of they jiggle. And if he could have just implemented that, could have got a knock. But, you know, could have, must have, should have, a lot of different things do come into play. But right now, as things stand, Team HARAME have been eliminated.
Yeah, the elimination is going to be quite unfortunate for the lads. One thing that I think Team HARAME can figure out is going to be just to purely go for the placement points right now, because getting into fights means taking a risk, and they do not, at the position that they're in, they do not have the luxury to take any more risk in this match. Also, DoyenKnightSs did lose out 1 player. The shots were coming in from the rear. The long distance spray is connecting. So they will have to find some good cover, or at least toss out a few smokes to create some cover for themselves.
Yeah, they have to do that right now. Team Rivals, they've got a good cover, like you mentioned. They've got another team right up ahead in front of them, and that is Team Angry Springs. We did see Angry Springs playing really well yesterday, in fact, and we just hope that tomorrow they continue the same run as well. But right now, Abrupt Slayers, this was a team that started off really well, got those 2 squad wipes for themselves, but kind of could not place well in terms of position points. But right now, if they focus on that, they know that they've got some amazing fraggers for them. And Joker, definitely the one standing out for me. I still remember that Erangel game in which he had an MK, dished out so much damage over there. He had absolutely gone berserk. So today, eyes will be on Joker as well as his teammates as to see how they are going to fare out in the rainforest of Sanhok.
Yeah, even definitely I want to see. And one thing that Sanhok is really famous for, as you say, if you are in a difficult situation, just put your head down to the ground and just prone down. This is what Sanhok is famous for. It's those deadly snakes. And right now, one villain, he's one with the nature. He is just one with the grass there, just trying to see if he can just stay safe from the opponents on the other side, because there was the squad of Gods Reborn on the other side of the ridge. And DoyenKnightSs 3-man squad remaining have 0 kills, just going for the placement points, just trying to avoid that fight. All right, was it Gods Reborn or was it A1 Esports? It is A1 Esports, the squad that was there.
Yeah, and this is a team that has been dominating, like we have mentioned earlier, but did have a initial bad game, getting wiped off so early into the start. So they will be looking to redeem themselves. And talking about Sanhok, see, we can describe this map as a rainforest. And, you know, we don't just find snakes in the grass. We find a lot of other species of animals with a lot of different characteristics. We do find some scorpions out there. We find some different varieties of worms. There are some players who just mind their own business, just get away from beside you, and there are those players who just spot you and really go after you.
Those moves.
Yeah, we got those animals who also love dancing. We've got peacocks.
The zombie move as well, but he's not a dead man walking. His team is just like, they're
Imagine
bored.
getting a headshot at this moment. Imagine that.
Like with his hands up and they just like falls to the ground instantly. That would have been karma, but I get it. So what was the time? I'm trying to remember the time marker that was there when we first saw these 2 teams in the exact same compounds. They haven't moved.
It's been ages.
It's been ages, yeah.
I do not know, man. But right now, DoyenKnightSs Rules has managed to spot down Fair, but he will be taking a lot of beating out there. And the players have been told that he is really low on his HP. Just go for the push, and there you go. DoyenKnightSs, they have also have taken the beating, have been eliminated. But clutch! Oh my goodness!
Oh.
How did he clutch that one out? Taking down Assassin, instantly finishing him off. And he was pretty low on his HP. They managed to take those first hits, but members of Team TDP are exactly aware of where he is. They know there's someone on that security outpost up ahead. So let's see as to how the players from Team 4 Archangels are going to perform in this particular map. They've got a decent number of, positioning. They've got all the players alive. And kills, just that one, but nothing much to worry about. Still have almost around 48 players to kill.
Yeah, almost 48 players to kill, and clutch in that one moment. I mean, even I was shocked because he was in the healing animation and he completed the heal and then took the fight. Still actually managed to win. E2S OPM do spot other players from Phantom. Saluwaiti being taken down by Mipsol, all in also dishing out the damage and taking a lot of damage on him. E2S OPM, they're charging in. This charge in is going to be so weird. Look at Mipsol's position on the low ground right now. Is going to be spotted out, but the smoke from his teammates are being laid out. They are just being so precise with how they want to take this fight and how they are supposed to take this fight. The gap has been closed. Rafat is going to be in so much trouble once Mifsal makes his way towards this rock, and now both the players are cooking their nades. Switches over to FPP, throws the nade but takes one to his face as he's going to be knocked down, and Rafat just stopping E2S OPM right in the middle of their tracks. Frypan chimes in as well as they get 2 knocks from the squad. The revives are going to come in at any moment, but Daughter, for that to happen, you have to stop the aggression from Phantoms. Saluwaiti takes a lot of damage. Rafat is sitting down around 50% HP as well, but Daughter is going to be taken down by Frypan, who came from the flank, and now E2S OPM, they're going to be wiped out. This was a bad push against Team Phantom, and Phantom is making them feel the regret as the last player, Mifsal, is going to be spotted out and dropped out of the game as well.
Well, Team Phantom exactly needing the right kind of a start in the second game, going after the big guns out there, and E2S OPM bite the dust. A lot of things did happen in that fight, but you know, that MK14, that is so deadly over there. Just this mere presence can, put shivers down your spine. But right now, Husky has spotted down the players from Team A1 Esports, will be taking them down, and Fear will be on the receiving end. And lo and behold, she has also peeked out, taking those shingle tap, and it's gotta connect. And getting that second kill will be entry from their team. Shoykot still alive, has to go in for the revive, but we have to see, this is a very critical area. After this, the 5th circle comes in, it kind of becomes impossible to go in for the revives after the 4th circle. And Jax will be getting the better out of a team, Gentlemen out there. So God's Reborn, they are losing out a lot of players, but Team High Voltage have been eliminated at a pretty early stage. So this is the unpredictability that me and Johnny have been constantly harping about. But right now, how do you think is Team TDP gonna make it inside the circle? Like I speculated earlier, this circle certainly had to go around Ban, and that is what happened. And Team PTS, Team Phantom, they are looking really good.
Yeah, they are looking really good indeed. The positioning, the way the team has performed so far, it is pretty good. But look at this. It's still 12 teams remaining. So even if you have 4 kills, if you get eliminated right now, it is going to be just 5 points in total. Do not want that. Husky and her teammate Entry in a really bad position left. They have the entire squad of 4 Archangels right in front of them. But the good thing is 4 Archangels get distracted quite easily as Boom Twice and Abrupt, they're looking in the wrong directions. They need to worry about the teams and the players behind them. But Rivals X pushing in from the front are going to take down Clutch, and that is going to be so bad for this team as the other 2 players were really low as well. Mr. Boro, he's charging from behind his teammates and providing them with a cover fire, but the blue zone is causing trouble for everyone right now. God's Reborn are going to be taken out of this game completely. 4 Archangels, Boom Twice has been knocked down. Mr. Weiss taking so much damage from the blue zone. I don't know how long this lad can survive. He's going to try and take the fight with the Vector. That's going to be not enough damage to take down any player from the side of Rivals X as they just continue to run towards safety and come across the players of Kira Peace Flow. Take down Dondai. Tokle through the window takes down 2 players. Mr. Boro is going to be the last man left with a sliver of HP. Runs in right before the tick damage from the blue zone is going to come in, but takes a bullet through to his face from Mr. Wise. And in a fight that wasn't supposed to go in anyway. Alright, it was the player from Kira P's Flow who actually took him down, took down Rivals X. It was Tokle who landed the final shot. But that fight was supposed to go nowhere, and still, I don't know what is going on.
This is some crazy PUBG Mobile that we are getting to witness. All the teams trying to close in, get in tight circle, get into safety, but that's definitely not gonna happen. All the teams that are in the center, and Team Phantom, look at that. I told they are in a very good position, and that was for a reason. Nobody was behind them. They had the edge over there, and they are just holding on to the high ground advantage. But players from Team KSX, they've got 2 kills for themselves, nothing much to scoff about. But Rafid will be taking down Bolly Hang from Team PWP. And TDP's players, Lazy being the survivor over there, as Fragboy has already been knocked out. Jax also finding out Tokle, and with that, Abrupt Slayers are gonna bite the dust, as Heaven being the last man surviving did go in for that heal battle but could not survive for long. But Lazy takes down Bolyang yet again, as he was just revived with his teammate, and both of them are down as of now. Lazy has to enter inside the circle, and that's where he made those mistakes. He gave away his position, and now he is being punished. But Steelix has managed to spot down the players out there, and the moment they try to come in, they will be on the receiving end as well. SK49 holding on, holding for himself that heal battle that he can do right now, but for how long? As there you go, SK49 being taken down, but from the circle.
Yeah, from the circle indeed. But Phantom Esports, they want to secure that kill for them, as Rafat is not going to let him go. Kira P's Flow get an exit. 2 teams remaining all of a sudden. Down from 5 to 3 teams being taken out. KSX is going in on the players of Phantom. Frypan has been taken down. Sanhok's almost getting that finish. And once again, we are down to a 4v4 situation. A team Phantom Esports with the high ground, but out in the open. And then we have KSX, who will have to go out in the open because that's where the final circle is. But Phantom Esports, they will have the advantage just because of the vision that they can get from the top of that mountain. We just have to see, can KSX somehow find a way to counter that positioning from Phantom? Jax, he's trying to charge in to the lower areas. They are just waiting for information and waiting to spot out the players in front of them.
Yeah, they certainly are. And one of those players from Team Phantom has to play that sacrificial role of staying behind, taking the damage from the circle. But what he can really ensure is that he gets those 2-3 kills for himself. And there you go, Soulz OF BD spraying down a lot of bullets over there onto it. Steelix will heal himself up, but Rafat has the mean machine, has the MK14. He does not care. He is just charging down onto its enemies, and Jax lobbing that grenade out. Will it be into perfection? Can it fight someone out? No, it does not. But Steelix, he is still in the grass, not revealing his position. Can be the trump card for his team that they were looking out for, because all the players of Team KS are still inside that one small compound.
Yeah, they are inside that compound, but can they survive? Alright, Frypan, he has 3 first aids, but the blue zone damage is going to be too much for him to handle. And he takes the shots, but that's not going to matter. He's going to be taken down one after the other. Phantom Esports, this game was supposed to be theirs, but it is slipping from their hands as the 2 players from KSX just charge out, take the fight. And 1 player is going to be dropped down by Jax, but now it comes down to 1v1, and both of them do not have any HP left. Just barely sitting on 50% HP.
Yeah, it's a 2v1 situation right now. Jax being the survivor over there, but Mehraz will be the one getting knocked, and with that, oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was madness. I mean, from the moment we saw that fight with the players from God's Reborn, Rivals X coming in, and from that moment to the very end, it was just a couple of minutes, but a lot of action taking place.
Yeah, absolutely. And the KSX,
yeah,
they've finally gotten themselves a chicken dinner, and that's a good match in Sanhok. I told you, this is going to be unpredictable. In Sanhok, you really cannot imagine things, and what the circle can do to you, it makes you desperate. It makes you bend down to the knees, and you know, that's what happened with a lot of teams trying to get in the last moment. A cluster of teams moving in from the southeast position. But you know, Phantom could have really got that chicken dinner, had Fry Pan, just held on to his horses just a little bit long, because he still had 3 first aids. He could have opted in for the heal battle, because somewhere down the line the players from Team KS had to come out in the open, and that was the perfect opportunity for them to strike. But he really kind of panicked over there, went in and I
actually agree with that as well, because even I thought the other players would have given his their first aid to Phantom, gotten him inside this blue zone, and then gone for the heal battle in the last one. That could have worked out, but now let us have a look at the MVP for this match and see which one player just stood tall above everyone else in this match. And it is going to be Rafat. I mean, securing those kills, being aggressive, that does get you the plus points.
MK14, baby.
Yeah.
MK14, that weapon.
That too. I mean, it is called.
I think that is what makes all the difference, because you saw all those fights happening over there. He was dishing out the damage alongside the nightmare to the enemies along with it. Because when you hear that gun, alright, it's just that one shot, and the rest of the shots are really suppressed. You just don't get the sound of it. So you know, it's kind of really confusing for your enemies as to know that, oh, someone is using that MK. It has that deadly sound, and you just get scared. I'm scared of that gun.
Well, I mean, everyone is. That's why you only hear the first shot, and by the time you hear this, the reason you don't hear the second one is because you have already ran far enough.
Yes, absolutely. That definitely might be the case. Or maybe it just kind of, you know, deafens you, that one shot, and does not let you hear the others.
You're out. You're in the lobby again.
You're out in the lobby.
Well, that might just happen with a lot of people, and Rafat made sure that happened to a lot of people. But let us now have a look at the top 5 players from this game and see who all are going to be in there. And with this sort of performance Phantom Esports had, I wanted to see a lot of their players in here, but it is quite a nice spread. TWP players spreading like stepping up big time in this matchup. Lazy and Fragboy. Then we have Sanhok from KSX with his 4 kills, and Trigger from Rivals X as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Sanhok, I love the way he took those final kills. And yes, Team KSX did have the circles, blessings in the final stages where, you know, they just had to move an inch. They even had a compound for quite some long time. Mistakes were definitely committed from Team Phantom, getting too eager to go in for those kills. I would have loved to see, you know, Rafat, in fact, being on the back lines, raining terror with his MK14, as, you know, all the other players would have gone in and dished out all of damage. Fry Pan could have been in a more aggressive position, because the damage that this particular gun deals out, you know, just those 3 bullets to enough just to take you down. And after that, not just one person. If you just pray that accordingly, if you sway it right, you might get 2.
Yeah, well, exactly. You might get 2, or you can just finish off the players one after the other, and just creating an advantage for your team is going to be important. But now let's have a look at a summary for this game and see how many utilities were used and how many knocks. Oh, wow. We saw 300. Now we get to see 99.
Could have just used one more smoke grenade, at least converted into an even number. But with things being said, that a lot of knocks but could not be converted, a lot of headshots I see over there, 2 airdrops being looted, both of them being MK14.
Yeah, exactly, 2 airdrops, and both of them the MK14s, and it was important the way this sort of game turned out as well. And utilities, I feel like utilities were really important as well, because we saw a lot of teams just being taken down. I mean, let's talk about the point where the chaos started. As I said, God's Reborn, then you have Rivals closing in for the back, and then you have this one squad in the middle. And it was the lack of utility for which the teams were punished, because then we saw all of them running together from the southern side towards the circle, and that is where Kira Peaceflow ended up picking up the kills.
Absolutely, absolutely. A lot of teams, like you mentioned, went from the southern side. But right now, let's take a look at the standings of this particular map, Sanhok, as to see where the teams are fed off in this game. And there you go, KSX getting a good number of kills, 9 kills, 29 points for themselves. But Team Phantom Esports, finally the comeback that everyone had been waiting for is over here. 26 points out from the game of Sanhok. And Kira Peaceflow not a shabby outing as well. 8 kills for themselves, and Trusty Process, another redemption.
But hey, these three teams, Phantom Esports, KRP Slow, and Trusty Process, weren't doing so hot in the semi-finals so far. Do you think, is this going to be enough, or are they going to be required to do more than this?
Well, certainly more than this. Because the PMCO South Asia semi-finals actually feels like the finals.
Yeah.
Because just the 10 teams qualifying gets in a lot of competition. You know, if it's around 16 squads, you know, we just have to make sure that we are not in the bottom 8 or last 8. We just have to focus. But here, you have to aim for the top. So that's gonna be of absolute essence.
Yeah, it is going to be of essence indeed, but a few upsets over here as well, as E2S OPM and High Voltage and Angry Springs took an early exit in this game. AGS, weren't they at a standstill, sort of a Cold War situation for a really long time? What was that, like 10 minutes? Them just standing or prone down inside those shacks?
Yeah, it was just them, you know, waiting patiently for the first team to make that mistake, and well, things did not really turn out in their ways. And taking a look at how things had fared off in Erangel and Sanhok, it was quite the opposite. The teams that were doing really bad in Erangel did take those chicken dinners, did get the win, and the teams that really did well in Erangel are on the bottom half. So that's the kind of unpredictability Sanhok brings.
Yeah, and we love it because this is where the teams actually have a chance of coming back. It's the off maps. Erangel, if you have an entire day filled up with Erangel and one team starts to build up too much momentum, it gets really hard to counter them.
Yeah.
And it is quite easy for teams to read each other's position and sort of come up with counters inside of the game itself, just because everyone has played that map a lot. But Miramar, Vekendi, and Sanhok, the off maps. Even Sanhok is, I would say, right after Angles, because the teams that like to play the fast-paced game, the teams that like the aggressive playstyle actually like to play this map a lot. But Miramar and Vekendi is where the action lies for the underdogs, for the teams that on paper you would say won't be able to take the fight, but on those two maps they actually do, and they come out on top as well. But for now, let us have a look at the leaderboard and see where every single team stands after the first 2 games of today.
And there you go, High Voltage standing all high and mighty over there with 145 points, with just a difference of 15 points. A1 Esports find themselves in the 2nd spot, but Abrupt Slayers and PWP Esports, these 2 teams have really stepped things up. As E2S OPM, they are in a standstill. They've made sure that they've crossed that 100 mark, so a few teams have definitely played it well. Angry Springs also following them, alongside DRS Gaming, whom we will witness tomorrow. But mind you, PN Crew is a team that has just played 8 games.
Yeah, 8 games and still sitting in the top 8. Venom Legends, look at them, 8 games played, sitting inside the top 10 right now, 84 points, and the difference is not too big between Venom Legends and the squad of Angry Springs. So Venom Legends will definitely make a comeback. God's Reborn on the 11th right now with 81 points. Trusty Process, they are climbing up slowly and steadily, but they need to make sure that they are getting the performance that they put in this game, the performance that they had in this game. They are just coming back with those performances in the next 6 matches that they have left after this one.
See, the thing over here, if you can look, we've got 85% for the 9th position. After that, it's just a matter of those 10 points. So any team can really step up, and not just them, but the teams that are on the bottom half as well. Up until, I think, Wolves Den, if they have a few decent games, they can be right on top. But SOLTISQUAD, I'm scared about them.
Not just SOLTISQUAD, look at the teams that are there with them. SOLTISQUAD, DoyenKnightSs, KRP Slow, KSX just got a chicken dinner right now, sitting on 60 points. Phantom Esports on the 17th with 71. We have Soulz of BD in here as well, sitting with 8 games played, but just 62 points. So all of these teams are in a really, really bad position right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Team Phantom Esports have sort of redeemed themselves, and imagine they go for another really good game.
Yeah.
Another really good game, get something around like say 20 kills, so they might just make it into the top 10.
Well, yeah, they might, because Angry Springs sitting at somewhere around 90 points are in the top 9 right now.
Yeah.
And from 71 to there, you just need 20 more points. So one more good performance and Phantom Esports will see themselves in a better position that they are right now. But will that happen in Miramar, or are we going to have to wait for the matches tomorrow? Only time will tell. For now, we're going to take a very short break, and coming up next after the break is going to be the match on Miramar. But before we head to a break, a huge shout out to our sponsors. So this PMCO 2020 Fall Split South Asia Region Semi Finals is sponsored by the Oppo Reno 4. Which has the VOOC 4.0 flash fast charging, 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage, and 6.4-inch AMOLED display, which is clearly the best here. So we're gonna meet you guys after a very short break, so stay tuned and keep watching.
looks good, but to me, you're clearly the best. Don't touch me. That was close. Don't worry, I've got your back. Ready to rock. Go on, do your thing. Clearly, you are the best. Oppo Reno 4.
Hello everyone, and once again welcome back to the PMCO 2020 Fall Split South Asia Region Semi Finals, sponsored by the Oppo Reno 4. My name is Varun Super Johnny John. Joining me, ladies and gentlemen, on the desk is Fixes, and now it's time for match number 3 for the day, which is going to be played on the map of Miramar.
Yeah, absolutely. Miramar, a land where your skills are tested, where you have to respect the circle. That has to be rule number 1. Do not ever disrespect the circle.
We did see teams learn that lesson yesterday, as well as the super late rotation did get a lot of punishes. And just a trip down the memory lane, last spring split, we did see those Miramar blue zones just take out a lot of players in those early stages. So you have to respect how big the map is, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. It would look like an 8x8 map. It is actually an 8x8 map, but what really differentiates it from Erangel is the landmass ratio that it has. It's abysmal. It's almost to 80% to 20%. So right now, the teams do have to figure out how they find their vehicles. And the most interesting thing that they have to do over here, they have to learn how to traverse through the ridges.
Yeah, and talking about the ridges on the map, the game is live, so let's have a look at the plane's trajectory as well, which starts from the eastern side of Los Higos and the southern side of Chumacer and goes all the way through El Pozo to where I have to say Ruins is going to be, or Ruins was in fact.
Ruins is absolutely a possibility for the squads to go there. It's actually ending over there, so a few teams might want to go for it.
I mean, they updated the game. They made the place into a viable drop location because Ocean and we used to make so much fun of it. And once again, it's not even included in the map.
It is not included over there.
It's too far away.
Yeah, but you can get there. A lot of new things being added on alongside that. Golden Mirado, which we love to see get exploded.
Yeah.
Now imagine a golden Mirado being exploded, has that burnt, charred skull look after being burnt over there. So does not matter if you've got a lot of gold in the lands of PUBG Mobile, you have to survive. So with that note, we start off with the game. All the teams are taking a drop. Teams that have to go towards the eastern areas, that is El Azhar, Impala, then we have Campo Militar, we have Tierra Bronca, Crew de Valle. They have to take those vehicles, and a lot of fights can erupt out from it.
Yeah, definitely a lot of fights are going to be erupting out, but the circle does move towards the junkyard and graveyard area once again. Hacienda del Patron might see some early collision, but so far, I think out of all places, we do see two teams moving towards La Cobriera, and quite interesting, an interesting place to land at. Might have some difficulties in the early game loot if Rivals X also drop along with the players of TDP, but no, they are moving out even further, just deciding to drop out in the open and then traveling if they find vehicles. But if the players from TDP spot them out, which I think they already have, they are just gonna go for those shots as soon as they find the weapons and take down the players of Rivals X in their tracks.
Yeah, that is going to be very crucial out there. But taking a look at God's Reborn, they've landed off safe in San Martin. But I don't see any team going towards Hacienda del Patron. Team Phantom, they are surely on the back lines, looting the power grid area, and then they might make that move. But no, power grid is taken by DoyenKnightSs. So that's going to be really tricky for them. But Gentleman, he is on the receiving side of the spray coming in for Abrupt. But Husky, there you go. There she goes, all high and mighty with her SKS, taking down Abrupt in a headshot.
Yeah, and the other players are going to come to the rescue, but God's Reborn now are aware of the positions of 4 Archangels, and they are going to look to cause some trouble for these lads, as Abrar is going to be revived, and Mr. Wise, along with his teammates, will look to move forward in this game, as 4 Archangels from a very bad position are back to a 4-man squad. But still, Abrar does not have any fair states, and they are in the middle of nowhere right now, being forced out of the main cluster of compounds by the players of God's Reborn. So finding those heals, finding that utility is going to be so hard for them.
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to be really a tough situation for them. But Husky, there you can see, having the SKS, the best part was the opponent did not have that helmet. So if it's an SKS and you shoot, that's 1 shot, 1 kill. So she is happy with that. And now, taking a look at how things are favored around for Team God's Reborn, they can easily go for that loot. They've got their vehicle secured. And talking about the circle, we see it ending maybe somewhere around Minas Generalis, depends, or can just go to its water treatment. So we have to see all the teams. What is of absolute necessity in this map is you have to get those hell compounds for you. You need to be on the top of everything to get a complete idea as to how the teams are rotating around, because it's way too much in the open. And if you can utilize your DMRs, your bolt actions to perfection, then you have already won one part of the battle already. But right now, Team TDP, the players have had a decent outing so far. Had one good match, one bad match. Will look to try to get some momentum out of this one. But let's see how this team is gonna fare out.
Yeah, we have to see how the team is going to fare out, but in the other situation, the other teams are going to be looking to get those scopes for themselves as well. And we, in the early stages, if you remember, fixes the meta on Miramar used to revolve heavily around those bolt actions, but this time, through the few matches that we have had on the international stages as well, the meta has shifted towards heavily towards the DMRs and those assault rifle with the 6Xs, the M4s, and it is quite interesting because the damage of the bolt action with that single shot being there, it still cannot be replaced. It was still too much, but it is the slow rate of fire that does impact you.
Yeah, it certainly is the slow rate of fire that does all that impact out there. But right now, Team Rivals are taking that rotation in from the northern side. And we just have to see as to which other teams that they are gonna face. Because if they decide to rotate somewhere on the eastern side, maybe try to enter from El Azhar area, that's gonna be a good entrance inside the circle. Minas General is an area that has not been taken down by any team. In fact, Team KSX, the winners of the last game, they are so far down the southwestern side onto its Valadimar, alongside RisingNepal, who are making their way into El Pozo. But Shagar, look at him, he is already down. Mr. Burrow looking for the finish, but Miracle is already over there. So if Miracle plays his cards right and does try to, avoid that nade coming in by Mr. Burrow, can be looking good. But okay, that was one missed grenade over there. And okay, those were a few Molop grenades that were into oblivion. But right now, Mr. Burrow, he is still trying to mess around with the players from Team TDP. Trigger has already come in, and now we might get to see a push happening around. Trigger already taking a lot of beating, giving enough time for Mr. Burrow to make that rotation. And Shagar has him spotted, but Mr. Burrow is too quick with his reaction, as Nemesis will be joining the fray alongside him taking down the last player over there. Miracle in this particular area. But rest of the players from TDP, look at how far they are and how low they are.
Definitely, they are really low indeed, and it is going to be a troublesome situation for Trusty Process. The players in a really bad position have been caught off guard. I was saying that Rivals X, that was the team that's going to be in trouble, and Trusty Process was the team that was going to cause the trouble. But no, the tables have been turned on me and on the players of TDP at the same time. As Rivals X, they refuse to have a bad standing and they refuse to fall down. Once again, this team is also going to be required to have a good performance in these semi-finals, because the expectations from everyone, the way they played in the group stages, they are pretty high. PWP on our screen right now, spotting out the players of P2S OPM, but the distance is going to be too much to connect any shots. Ow, okay.
Take back your words.
Yeah. Yeah, I do take my words back, but Hunter still escaped. It was one shot that hit.
It was almost 3 mags that have been, wasted over there. Still not giving up. I mean, this lad definitely does have something around 300 ammo, which was a thing during, Season 4, Season 3, when the players did not really care about a lot of grenades. They knew that all they needed was some 400, 500 ammo and just pray with that. And now, as the meta has changed, a lot of players like keeping something, say, around 100 to 150 bullets, rather opting for all those grenades, having those 5, 6 grenades, all those smokes for themselves. So, backpack management is also a thing.
Yeah, it is a thing. You have to think about what you're going to carry and what you're going to use. But the complete loadout for the perfect map, the AWM and the 8X.
Yes.
Wow.
Just give the person, whoever is holding a suppressor. I think with that, he will be having a very hearty life. Yeah.
That's too much. I mean, 8X is already there. Would he suppress as well?
Yeah, suppressor. Why not? Because why not?
Yeah, I mean, why not just...
We are humans. We are never satisfied with what we have in life.
Oh, yeah. I get it now. But still, that's going to be too much power in one man's hand. And, with great power comes great responsibility, which is what we like to call the AWM. I mean, it is not a weapon. It is a responsibility. Those are the exact words of Ocean Sharma, as he likes to call it. The big green cannon. And you have to be responsible because you do not have enough ammo with the thing.
Yes, you certainly do not have enough ammo. You have to choose. But I still believe it's enough for one game. You cannot just, keep on tapping, keep on spamming that weapon. That's not for that. You have to dish out some damage. And recently, we are hearing news, rumors that we get that some bolt actions are going to get a buff.
Ooh, that is going to be so interesting. And I mean, we were talking about this as well. As I said, the meta on this map has shifted because even though the damage for the bolt actions was always unreplaceable, but it is the rate of fire that actually impacted the performance a lot. Just the fact that once you fire your shot, you're vulnerable for the next few seconds. That was so bad for the team. In the meantime, as we saw what players like to do, you do like to spray out. Doesn't matter the distance between you and the opponent. You just go for those 3 clips.
Yeah, you definitely should go. Why just go for 3? Go for 4, 5, 10. I do not care as long as you keep on spraying. And even if you run out of bullets, just go with your pan. Go with your fist. If you do not have one, if you do not have something of the pans or, the sickles and everything. But yeah. Taking a look at the circle, we see it proceeding towards San Martin or maybe Hacienda del Patron. Water treatment still a possibility. But look at how the players from Team Angry Springs have approached this entire circle. I absolutely love it. Their path is clear. They are having a high ground advantage. In fact, they can take that back hills of El Azhar, have the ridges for themselves, and also engage against maybe Team A1 Esports. They can be a clear victim. But I believe they are just near the gas station in those areas just beside of Hacienda del Patron. But right now, Team PWP are finding themselves in a situation right now as they are going against Team HARAME. Ghatak has already been knocked. Bowly Hang, oh my goodness, displaying what he can do with the bolt action in the right hands, and has managed to take down those 2 knocks. And this is the calling from the Almighty that you need to go for a push.
Yeah, the push might just come in as Ghatak is just too exposed, and I don't think they are even going to try and do that, as they will just try and keep his teammates away from him and just make them watch him bleed out. All the players on the high ground, Darleon has been left behind towards the graveyard area, towards the crematorium, just to make sure that he can guard the position and Ghatak does not escape. But RisingNepal, they have to be careful, as Cooney, the direction he was moving in, he would have definitely come in contact with the players of Kirapi's float Tokle, but he has been spotted out by Renza from the squad of RisingNepal, and the fight is gonna happen at any moment. I mean, the shots were fired from both the teams, but none of them actually connected on either of the players. In the meantime, the blue zone is closing in, and we will have the next circle. This one is definitely going to go towards, I was just going to say Hacienda del Patron at water treatment, but I expected it to be on the eastern side, not the western one. That is going to be tricky because the mountains are just going to make the positioning of the team so weird.
Well, it's look at the shift over there. You know, water treatment being on the left side, the circle, still the majority of it being in the San Martin area. But the higher advantage that Team Kira has can really be very crucial. But for them to be in a good position, they have to take down players from Team RisingNepal. Like we can see all those teams making those rotations in, and Miramar game is kind of a bit slow, not as slow as Vikendi, but yes, the fights that happen after that are really intense. But Jax, you know, being taken down by Husky over there, and she is definitely looking really good. And where was she all the time along? If she can get you enough assaults, just have her in your team already.
Yeah, I mean, it is going to be quite interesting as to see how this entire team, not just Husky, but how the other lads from the Gods Reborn squad also are going to be performing in this matchup. Oh, Kira Peace Flow. That's going to be bad, but Husky does get another knock with a really nice headshot, and the fight on the other side has started as well. But Kira Peace Flow, they are gonna be in such a bad position. They just run in between the players of RisingNepal. Kuni gets a knock on Kureo. He did not even know where he was. Tokle, he is gonna take a nade to his face and is gonna be knocked down. Jane is gonna come in for the support, but he does not have any health on him. Kuni can just charge in and finish him off. The last remaining player from the side of Kira Peace Flow has been left far behind. This was such a bad move from Kira Peace Flow. They are getting punished so hard. Kuni with another nade is going to knock down Jane. And all these players are just going to be left to die as Dawn die. He is going to be given the call out to just abandon them and go for the placement points in this match.
Yeah, certainly they would love to go for the placement points, but Dondai, just being the last man surviving, I mean, he is out in the open, does not have a vehicle, is all alone, and has been surrounded by enemies. And well, if you are Dondai, what would you be feeling right now, Johnny?
Well, I would just be focused on the opponents. I mean, if
I would be scared.
I mean, that's the thing. See, if you get scared, you might mess up. Just focus on that one guy that's in front of you.
Well, that's the reason why I'm beside you right now.
Yeah.
Maybe I just got too scared. But yeah, Steelix taking down Gole, and Kurkure will definitely bite the dust. RisingNepal putting the nail in the coffin over there. Shanul also being taken down. Oh my goodness, look at the cluster of teams that are on the southeastern side. Well, it's San Martin, so a lot of buildings to cover you out. But I want to see that fight happen at that area. But Shoiker, kind of in a different position, has managed to spot down a few players and has Steelix in the radar. He's just waiting for him to peek out, and has the suppressors of Frost Sniper as well.
Yeah, the suppressor is going to be really helpful if he actually hides and shoots and not stands out in the open. Yeah. But I guess he has a different way of using it. HARAME Nang, he's going to have to step back and wait for the smoke to pop. Oh, the timing on that was so incredible. He managed to survive with around 73% health on him. But the shots, the spray from Abrupt Slayers are going to come in blindly inside the smoke and are going to force him down. Can he survive that situation, as Joker is going to take down IR2 out in the open? But now it's going to be time for all of them to move inside the circle, and another one. Third airdrop brings with it the MK14, the tac stock for the rifles, and the level 3 kit. So whoever gets this one is definitely going to have a massive advantage. A1 Esports are going to be quite close to that, so we're going to have to see if they actually go for the pickup. Oh, Shoikot spots out Joker, but it was the spray coming in from Sinister. Sinister is so far away. How did he actually connect the shots and blow up the vehicle?
I mean, that's his absolute precision and a lot of grind that has actually resulted in such kind of performance. Team HARAME being eliminated on the 15th position over there, and Lake will also be biting the dust as Angry Springs also meet their makers. But Team PWP, they are doing good. But Rafat, oh my goodness, blows up a vehicle. Two players of Team Rivals have turned into history over there. Frypan also finding a kill onto its trigger. But Mifsal, oh my goodness, that was a blunder. No, he just missed out that spray, and now is on the receiving end of a push coming in from the players of Team PWP. But it will not resort to that as he has been spotted out. Daughter being taken down. This is an absolute disaster for Team E2S OPM.
Yeah, it is a disaster indeed, and PWP, they are just going to take more nades and shove them
head towards E2SOPM. One of the players from each side has been knocked out. SK49 for PWP and Totter for the side of E2SOPM. But Bolihang, he's going to rotate and get in a better position. Hunter might be able to spot him out. He would have been able to spot him out if the smokes had not been there. Dalion from the backlines is going to be able to take down Allin. Oh, the footsteps are going to be heard by Allin, but he takes the revive. And Totter is back on his feet. And now Allin and Dalion come face to face. Allin takes him down. Bolihang charges and he's going to be taken down as well as the double spray. Do connect. And now the finish offs are going to be confirmed. Chari and SK49 coming in from the long distance. Totter needs to heal up. Allin, he is healing up as well. Chari steps inside the compound. Should have just gone for the fight. SK49, his position was spotted out. And now E2SOPM, they will definitely come out on top in this one as T2K Chari is going to be cornered from both the directions and both the players will charge in his face and finish him off at any given moment. But here she comes. Husky from the backlines just takes off Mifsol from the squad of E2SOPM.
Yeah, and Luna still standing tall with Totter. I do not understand how these lads do it, how they change things around for themselves. E2SOPM, an absolute beauty of a squad. Not enough kills this time around, but still they are surviving till the next to see the next circle. But will that be happening? We have to see, because they are still out of the circle right now. They have to get in as the circle has gone wide out in the open, where I guess Team High Voltage have a very good advantage.
Yeah, they will have a really good advantage, and high voltage, we have always seen them use those advantages, just converting them really nicely in their own favor. And one of the lads from the team that is majorly responsible for those scenarios is gonna be Aussie. But RisingNepal, why would you do that? Just knocking out your own teammate with a nade. Oh, Sonam, he was standing right on top of the player from TDP and just is going to try and finish him out, but is being really patient. I like this. I like the discipline from the lad. Waits for his teammate to be back on his feet so he can comfortably take the fight, and even if he gets taken down, at least his teammates are going to be there to get the trade or revive him.
Well, let's see what's going to happen, but there you go. E2SOPM will not be seeing the next circle, but Sonam has been taken down by Fragboy. But oh my goodness, the trades come in, the last player being down, and with that TDP also taken an exit from this particular game. But Team A1 Esports still standing tall, just that one player knocked. But gentlemen, he knows exactly where Steel Shot is, and Steel Shot does blow up the grenade out. Gentlemen taking some baiting out there, does deploy that low toss grenade, smoke grenade in fact, perhaps, to go in for the revive. And now this is too open for a revive. Shoika definitely providing that cover fire from the backlines, but also has to worry about fear over there. KSX were in a bit of a pickle out there, have been eliminated so far. Frypan also being taken down by the members of Team DoyenKnightSs. A very crucial game for that team as well. Got a lot of potential, got a lot of big names, but haven't certainly been able to reflect that statistic, reflect everything onto the leaderboards. But there you go, gentlemen, being thrown by a grenade from Steel Shot will be taking down the players from Team God's Reborn.
Yeah, God's Reborn taking an exit on the 7th position. Now we're down to 6 team, 22 players alive. A1 Esports once again making it into a good position. So I guess after having a few bad games, they are back into the action this time. 7 kills being confirmed, so good momentum for the team. Fear is really low. They are not going to be able to save their own teammate as he's going to die to the zone. And it is an interesting standing for the team right now. But as we were talking about RisingNepal, they have the high ground, they have the teams in front of him, so they basically have to fight in just a single direction. Can they make this work? It's going to be quite tricky, but they just might be able to.
Yeah, they certainly might be able to. They have to get to the lower ground, they have to get inside the circle, so they really need to play their cards right over at this point. But Assassin being taken down by Clutch from 4 Archangels, and we have seen this in the past. 4 Archangels are absolutely phenomenal in this particular map, but can they deliver it yet again? That we have to see. Right now, Shoikot is kind of surrounded by some enemies out there, just having that one small rock for his cover. But there you go, talk about the man, Ozzy, finally showing up and does get that grenade knock coming in. DoyenKnightSs having the favor, the blessing, in fact, of the warehouse, and the circle is right in disconnect. And in there's just 2 squads inside the circle, and DoyenKnights is one of them.
Yeah, DoyenKnights. I mean, talking about this one team, it's been such a long time, I feel like, that we have seen them in the final fight situation. This time, them being there, 4 Archangels being there, RisingNepal being there, it's going to be quite a test because all these teams, they are going to be desperate to get that chicken dinner, to get those points. And one game can actually change everything, but 4 Archangels get taken down. Phantom take an exit before them. Oh, just losing out on the one crucial points and the crucial kills is going to be so bad for them. But now we're down to 4 teams, 13 players alive. High voltage. They are on the high ground and they have the voltage in them.
Yes, absolutely. They have been electrocuted, and they are actually electrified right now at this certain moment. Are deploying all that smoke right in the right areas, but Ozzy, he does not care. And when you do not care, you tend to be susceptible to a lot of attacks, and that is exactly what has happened with him. And Shoykot trying to get inside the circle. Oh my god, I feel bad for this lad. He was there for so long. And 9-7 inside the smokes. Team High Voltage, they are fighting against the walls because literally Disconnect do have that cover for themselves. And Haywalk has thrown in, but the grenade there coming out from Rules will be taking 2 players out from Team High Voltage, and Assassin will bite the dust as DoyenKnights march in for one single victory that they have been searching for so long.
Yeah, it is going to be that one victory that they desperately needed. But the team of RisingNepal, they are going to look to secure their position in the top 10 right now with this one. Who is going to be more desperate? I guess only time will tell, as the game in just a matter of minutes is just about to come to an end. On the other side, Disconnect is going to be taken down. Sonam, don't go for the rush, buddy. Yeah, go for the airdrop. Don't try and charge it right now. It's just one knock. 3 players are still there, and they can still take you out.
And well, Rules has spotted him out, and imagine him blowing up his vehicle. But right now, he's got other things to deal with right over here. He peeks around and will not find anyone as of now. This is an EV still over here as players are trying to rotate around, find the perfect angles, find the perfect cover. But look at the circle again favoring the players from DoyenKnights, and this certainly looks to be their game. And Sonam does have that level 3 helmet and vest, a quite good advantage right now, as he has to also get inside the circle. But well, he is right now, but he has to make sure that his teammates find no difficulty, even dropping those crucial smokes for themselves. Right now we can see the players of Team RisingNepal marching down into the open, but DoyenKnights still utilizing the cover for perfection. Can they do something? Can they clutch things out against Team RisingNepal as the first knock comes in from Cooney? DoyenKnights are in a bit of trouble. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, we are gonna find out what happened. We don't have to see. I think these teams, they are building up a storyline for them, and for us to tell you, lads, as DoyenKnights, they have been pinned down in that one compound and have been spotted out. But Sonam being over aggressive, he's going to be taken down and punished by one villain, and one villain just manages to take that one-sided trade for his advantage, just throwing a nade towards his other teammate, towards the other lad from the side of RisingNepal, but the nade is going to miss its mark, and Crazy just steps between the gap that is there between the truck and the airdrop and takes down one villain. Now focusing on the other lads, hides behind the smoke, is going to try and go for the revive. It is going to come in a few seconds later. Cooney on the other side is going to drop down Rules. One villain is going to be finished off, and now DoyenKnights finally sitting at a disadvantage. Disconnect is going to drop down one, but still that is not going to be enough, as RisingNepal just step up big and rise tall above everyone and to take the chicken dinner.
They did so. They were actually soaring like an eagle out there, because DoyenKnights, they did have the cover, they did have the circle, but take a look at RisingNepal. They were spotted, their positions were already given. They had to make that smoke cover, they had to come inside the circle, they had to take those initial knocks, and they did absolutely every single thing.
Yeah, every single thing, and they did everything perfectly as well. Apart from that one point of over-aggression from Sonam.
Does not matter.
It's all forgiven.
History.
Yeah, it's history now. They did get the points for themselves, which is why it was all important. But once again, before we move further and have a look at the standings for this game and the leaderboard as well, we have to appreciate the individualistic skills, especially, I mean, the kill feed. Husky was performing really well in this match.
Yeah, absolutely.
With the Mini 14.
Yeah. I mean, where was she all the time? This is the question I have to put forth. If things were actually going bad for you, you could have got her in. We know she is absolutely dominating with her assaulting skills, and that she has proven.
Most of your former teammates are still playing, right? You're the only one who's retired.
Yeah, that hurts. That hurts over there. But yeah, still, it feels really glad when you know your former teammates go into new organizations, really perform their hearts out. But let's take a look at the MVP of this particular game. Which one player is gonna stand out above all? And that's gonna be Cooney. There, 6 kills, 820 damage. Well-deserved chicken dinner. Well-deserved MVP for this lad.
He deserves his name as well. I mean, 820 damage, 6 kills being confirmed, and the man is pretty deadly. I mean,
yeah,
he is pretty deadly.
He is literally a murderer out there. He murdered the entire squad of the Doyen Knights, and he was the one who got those initial knocks. Because even Sonam was taken down. Regardless of that fact, the way he went in, you need to be fearless, and that is exactly what he displayed. You need to be a cold-blooded murderer that you have to be, and he lived up to his name, basically.
It wasn't just him, though. It was his entire team as well, RisingNepal. I mean, the way Sonam charged in towards that air drop, that was over-aggression right there. I mean, if that was a bait, they did not bait a single shot from Doyen Knights, but Doyen Knights could have actually gotten Sonam out early and just finished him off. The other players from the side of RisingNepal were still on top of the hill. They were running down by then. They were getting into those vehicles and just trying to figure out a way. But Sonam was way far ahead. Had he been knocked down at that point, that would have been it. No more. RisingNepal would have had to take the fight 3 versus 4. But coming back to the stats, let's have a look at the top 5 players from this match and see the other 4 players who are going to be there with the MVP in the list.
And there you go, Coney being joined by Rafat and Team Phantom. Finally they have stepped up, and maybe this is a game where Doyen Knights are looking to go strong as well. Sinister taking those 3 kills, Rafat having the 4 kills. Not a high kill affair, but I must point out this fact that a lot of teams got a lot of kills, so it was kind of evened out.
I feel bad for Phantom Esports, you know, because they and there was another team right next to them who took an exit just milliseconds after each other, and that matters a lot.
Yes,
I mean, there's an extra point right there, and if you are landing on the 4th or the 3rd position, that's 2 extra points. The timings matter, so you need to make sure that you stay alive as long as you can. Every single second can count, and Phantom Esports just being a little bit unlucky in this time, but they still at least made it into the top 5.
Yeah, absolutely they did. But yeah, like you mentioned, those 1-2 points are the only points that are going to make a difference. Mind you, when the overall standings will come, you will see those close finishes out there. All those players, all those teams being very close to each other. Talking about things being close to each other, let's take a look at the match summary where we will be witnessing how many knocks and how many kills. Because I told you, this is a game of Miramar. A lot of players will be taken down from the circle, and there you go. 65 knocks with just 55 kills converted. 4 grenade kills, yeah, that's a good number. 9 headshots, yeah, decent. Smokes and grenades, yeah, average as usual. 206, yeah, I'm used to it.
Yeah, I mean, you do get used to it. Just an average number of stats. So, overall, a pretty average game of Miramar. Apart from that, I mean, even the circles were sort of what you usually expect. The high ground being there for one team, the open area charge in, and on the northern side of Hasi and the Patrol Graveyard area, the most famous locations in the game.
Absolutely. I was not really taken aback with the circle, but
a good change of pace.
Yeah,
Erangel has been giving us strokes these days.
So, but you know, one thing that I've really noticed over here, that teams still haven't prioritized vehicles in the final phases in this this map of Miramar. As a result of which, a lot of teams, by a lot, it's around 4 or 5 teams that had to deal with the Wrath of Circle, could not really even make it inside during the 4th circle, as the 4th circle was ending. So it's very crucial to have your vehicles, and the next part is to keep your vehicles safe.
Yeah, I mean, even if you can't keep them safe, you can always use them as a cover to take the fights. I mean, we did see that happen in the game. I think it was a player from PWP who actually did that. But now it is time to see the point distribution that happened in this match. That is the game-wise
finalized standings for this game, with the chicken dinner going towards the players of RisingNepal and DoyenKnightSs. This would have been so important for them had they gotten the chicken dinner, because then look at this, their points would have actually increased. But just 5 kills, so decent performance. A1 Esports once again stepping up in a really good spot. Had a good standing, got eliminated 4th in the game, had 7 kills, 15 points for them.
Yeah, absolutely. DoyenKnightSs, kind of a resurgence that they absolutely needed, and yeah, they could have done better. They could have gotten the chicken dinner, but well, we have to live with it. High voltage after another good game, and that's just gonna further their lead that they have maintained for themselves alongside A1 Esports, Phantom Esports, 10 points. Okay, so now they are being consistent. And the more consistent you are, the more chances that you are going to make it in the final circles. And well, if God favors, if you have the circle, if you have the blessings, maybe you can get another chicken dinner. Try to make it into the top 10, because Phantom Esports is one team that we would love to see in the finals against all the teams that have qualified.
Definitely, you do want to see this team in the finals, but I also want to see Trusty Process moving. I want to see E2S OPM moving. There are a lot of teams, Kira Peaceflow as well. I mean, all these teams had such a mind-blowing performance during the group stages, but this time in the semi-finals, they are just being hard countered. They are not allowed to move from the early stages to the mid-game stages even, and it is so hard to watch.
You remember that fight with E2S OPM, between E2S OPM and PWP?
Yeah.
I do not know how the lads really, converted things around. They were pinned against the wall, had almost all their players knocked out. But, the revivals coming in the nick of time and the counter-attacks, the counter-trade-offs, that is where E2S OPM kind of flourished. They were shining, because at a point I thought they are done. But
same here.
Yeah, but they were like, hold my juice. Wait a second, we just got started. We've got a lot more to offer, and that is exactly what they did.
It was hold my first aid kid, actually, because Totter was actually revived in that fight. And he did need to hold that first aid for himself to get healed up and take that fight. And yes, I have to say, at that point, PWP, they got too aggressive. We talk about over-aggression, we talk about controlled aggression. That was over-aggression. You can't take fights like that. We'll have a look at the leaderboard right now and see where does this game bring the teams in their standings, especially focusing on the teams from Group A.
Yeah, absolutely. There you go. No surprises here as of now. RisingNepal are definitely stepping up, 106 points for them, but PWP, they are climbing up. Yes, of course, but considering the fact that they have played 11 games, we are yet to see PN Crew coming in tomorrow, and if they play well, they might just end up on the first position themselves. Angry Springs in the top 8, nothing much to worry about as of now, but they still have just 5 games remaining. So in those 5 games, all they have to do is try to keep on the first page. But as we move further into the next quarter of standings, we are gonna witness a few teams. Oh my goodness, look at this, Johnny. Look at the difference. Maybe that 1 or 2 placement points could have gotten themselves on the 13th position. 1 more points equal with Venom Legends.
Yeah, I mean, it is quite intense now at this point. Just qualifying is going to be such a big challenge, because look at this. 89 points, 88, and then on the last position we have Archangels on the 16th with 79. Just 10 points separating these teams from 9 to 16. And I'm pretty sure the teams on the other side are also going to be in a bad position. And as you were talking about Phantom Esports, as I said, this game did not really work out for them. Had they gone for 20 points, they would be sitting in the top 8 right now.
Yeah, absolutely. But for Archangels, they were also looking promising this time around. They were also till the last of, I think, top 5 over there. But never mind, taking a look at the teams that are in the red zone. 7C Esports, DoyenKnightSs. They were almost dead last. Now, courtesy to one good game, now they set at 70 points. And one more good game, and they might be in the second page. And continue that, you might just make it.
I think they need 5 straight good games. They have less 5 games left. So just to secure, because we are estimating around 140 points to be the cutoff for the finals, and the qualification marker being somewhere around the 130 to 140 points. They're sitting at 70 right now. They need to make sure they rack up the points as fast as they can in the next 5 games. And to do that, you have to be consistent. Today is going to be, well, their 5th to last game. That's going to be played on Erangel. Let's see what the team can bring. But before that, we're going to take a very short break. So you guys stay tuned and keep watching. We'll be right back.
looks good, but to me, you're clearly the best. Don't touch me. That was close. Don't worry, I've got your back. ready to rock. Go on, do your thing. Clearly, you are the best. Oppo Reno 4.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the PMCO 2020 Fall Split South Asia Region Semi Finals, and it is time for the last game for the day, and we are just gonna head into the action and look at the trajectory of the map. Also, a shout out to our sponsors. This PMCO 2020 is sponsored by the Oppo Reno 4. My name is Varun Super Johnny John, being joined by Fixes, and the trajectory of this plane starts all the way from the eastern side of Severny and goes towards the Quarry area.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a very unique flight path this time around, starting from Severny, to be honest. And a lot of teams we had seen in the earlier games had gone towards as far as Zaki. So today, a circle that we casted this time ended around on the northern area where, Team High Voltage was on a prowl. They got the chicken dinner for themselves, but can they keep that momentum running? That is definitely going to be a question over here. They have been consistent, not just in this particular day, but throughout. They were kind of struggling maybe during the group stages, but as the game started to go very, very serious, they really stepped up on the pedal. But today, now all the teams have taken the drops. DoyenKnights really taking me aback with all their unique approach towards the map of Erangel. Always trying out some good drop over here and over there. But Team Rivals, they are doing good on the quarry side. I'm still waiting for the circle to come around. And it is going to go maybe towards the southern side. Give me a southern side circle. Yeah, it was partly fulfilled.
Well, it is quite interesting. Didn't we see this a couple of days ago?
Just yesterday,
Pakistan.
Pakistan.
Yeah, just yesterday, the Pakistan region. And that one actually moved all the way towards the western area, but Fixes this circle. It gives us hope, man. It gives us hope that we might get to see the Quarry circle again.
Maybe we can get to witness a quarry circle out there. And I've been waiting for such a long time. And right now, as you can see, a lot of teams are instantly making their move inside the circle. And imagine Team Rivals, having that area under quarry in their control. So things might really change out for them. And the chicken dinner they are searching for quite a long time might really be fulfilled.
Yep, they might be able to fulfill it, but
look at what is going on right
now. That's the finish. Wait.
No, he wants.
Oh, he won't. He's gonna punch him.
Yeah.
Why waste the fuel even? I mean, they talk about why punching is more efficient in the early stages and fanning people to save ammo, but why even waste the fuel trying to drive around in circle? Also, what I was going to say is more interesting is going to be the fact that we have 3 teams that try to drop towards Talbot and Kamishki.
What is happening? Why are the teams forgetting the fact that a lot of areas are open? They could have gone Primos, they could have gone towards Quarry, to the western side of Quarry as well. A lot of compounds over there. Or could have just gone somewhere down south from the observatory tower that we have, or just beside Gatka. But, well, teams, you can't really change what they want. And right now, we can see some fight happening around the Severny area. But this is Team Rivals, so Mr. Burrow. He has been phenomenal. This player alongside Trigger has been amazing. But we want the rest to step up as well. Having a Scarrel this time around, I would love to see some Scarrel knocks.
Yeah, even I would love to see that. But you know what I would like to see is no more DBS.
Okay. Come on. Whenever we get those DBS, we get to see all those drastic things. And every single day.
Yeah, if we get an DBS this time with the circle could be in Quarry.
Yeah, and imagine every single day of the South Asian region that we've casted so far. The final game of Erangel has been electrifying.
Oh, Nang was taken down. He was finished off as well. And as we did see, PWP had lost a player. So Harame are actually down 2 players right now. Nang and IR2, both of them have been
been finished off. Also, if we can have a mini-map, there's something really interesting happening on the map right now. Remember I said 3 teams landed on Stalber and Kamishki area? Well, it was actually 4. ALS, Abrupt Slayers, they moved down and then Joker went back up towards Stalber. Ghatak is going to be taken down by TDP Miracle, but what I was talking about is the fact that Doyen Knights have actually decided to go for a water rotation from Stalber. They went north and they went into the water.
And now they are going to be joining 2 more teams that are already present in Severny. Well, they need to have some good loot if they really want to contest that. But if they do not have, they will be on the receiving end. Angry Springs, a squad that I can see over there. But right now, Team HARAME. Okay, Private 7 being the last man surviving from this squad. And this is what happens when you tend to drop off from your favorite drop location. You kind of charter into the unwanted territories of the enemies over there. But right now, Team HARAME are definitely on the receiving end. They really have to work things out, maybe survive till the end. We have seen this happen in the past. So if he has to be very careful, he has to be very quick with the rotations, and he has to be very lucky.
Yeah, he has to be lucky indeed, just to be able to survive the situation from there. But in this match, I think the most important thing is going to be to get towards those Gatka query areas and get those compounds as early as you can for yourself, because otherwise it's going to be a really tough situation if you are going to go and try and get there super late. Also, gatekeeping in the western parts of Erangel is a lot more easier, because as I said, it's the open area. When you're trying to rush in, it is going to cause you so much trouble. You're going to be so easy to take down, so you have to be super careful while doing that.
Yeah, you have to be super careful while doing that. But right now, E2S OPM, they are in Pachinki. They've always loved that area. They've been very dominant, but we're still waiting for that chicken dinner coming from the side. But what were they pulling it off? That was some show over there. Completely executed into perfection from Team 4 Archangels. But right now, they kind of find themselves in a bit of a pickle over here. They're just looting right now. This is still the early phases of the game. Nothing much to be worrying about. But let's see. RisingNepal are in the nearby fray. And okay, so Kuni, who was absolutely murderous in the last game, is kind of separated from his squad. We just have to see when he rejoins them, because if he gets isolated and gets picked off, that's bad news. But gentlemen, he is not being a gentleman at all, spraying down all those bullets onto the players from Team Kira over there. But now Kira have also made their move, and now they're getting into a better position inside the circle. I would love to see some team try to hold that observatory area, but this team, I mean God's Reborn, this team has definitely have done their homeworks right.
Yeah, the homework has been done, and especially today they have been. I mean, we did not see that super high octane chicken dinner performance from them, but still, they have somehow managed to get a decent standing, a decent outing in every single match, and that is where the major impact in a team standing in the leaderboard comes from. But this team is not gonna stand as Assassin. What were they thinking? They just rammed the car on the high ground into the players of KSX, and they were going to be taken out. Havoc is going to be finished off, as well as Sanhok. He is not going to get to say knock anymore, as Havoc is just going to escape.
Yeah, he just escaped and barely surviving there with just a little bit of HP. But right now, KSX, they have their vehicles being taken down. There's a crate that we can see over there. Nemesis, he is in the middle of nowhere out there, but it's taken a lot of damage. And let's see if he can actually survive the onslaught that Team Kira are dishing out over there. But Donda will get taken away from elsewhere, as he's been spotted by the members from Team Rivals.
Yep, Rivals, they are pretty scary indeed, and we've seen this team be hyper consistent, and we've seen them be hyper inconsistent. Alright, what do you have to say about Abrupt Slayers being so late to the party? And look at that split.
like, I mean, I get split rotations, but at this point you just have to rotate. You can't even split up. You have to move in towards the circle, which is heading towards query fixes.
It is. It sure is. I want to see how these teams adapt to this circle, how they play Quarry, because there is a pattern. You have to be very, very cautious. And, you know, since I had casted a game of BTR playing in the Quarry, you should have seen that. You know, 4 players in 4 different directions, not even close to each other, and they held on to their single positions. And you would be surprised as to how many kills they ended on. They got somewhere around 20 plus and got the chicken dinner as well.
Well, the last fight in Query that I remember from South Asia is going to be from Spring, and that was the squad of TDP. On top was the lad, 1v4 in the Query situation. An incredible performance, and it was the match that they definitely required to qualify. Weren't able to make it, tried the level best, but in this time, Sinister, middle of nowhere, spots out one lad, finishes him off, and moves on with his teammate quite comfortably. The first airdrop is going to come in. It has the M249 and the 8x scope along with it. The military level kit is going to be there as well with the level 3 helmet, the vest, and the backpack. All level 3 good stuff for the player that goes in. But here's the fun part. It is on the southern side of Query, that airdrop.
Yes, it is. It is. We're just waiting. And, you know, if the circle ends at Quarry area, Johnny is gonna eat 10 chilies. Are you?
Well, no.
Don't do this. Let's have that fun challenge. You did that last time around, and now are you remembering those
we
times?
save that stuff for the final. We save that stuff for the final. So when in finals, that's when we're going to try and make that happen for you guys. But for now, we're just going to see, and we're going to wait and find out which teams actually make it to the final. Did Tortoise just fall in the middle of nowhere? All right. Let's just watch A1 Esports drive their beautiful, beautiful car through these wheat farms and just try and figure out where they want to hold the compounds.
Yeah, we have to figure that out. And let's see what really happens. And, you know, Tota, we have seen a lot of bizarre things in Erangel. It does not really surprise me. And, you know, I will not be even surprised if the circle kind of goes on a curveball, ends up at Fairy Pier. I would love a Fairy Pier circle as well. But what I would absolutely love is Quarry. I want to see the positioning, how the other teams are going to position themselves. Have they got enough knowledge how to play Quarry? Because that might look really simple from far, but when you are looking into the details, it gets way too complicated.
Yeah, it is too complicated. I mean, the steps that is there. If you take the low ground in the center of Query too soon, you put yourself, you basically are going to be focused upon it. It's going to be like a funnel where everyone's bullets are just going to come towards you. If you stay too long on the high ground, then you're going to be in trouble. You're going to be spotted out and finished off by the other players on the high ground and the players on the low ground as well. So timing on Query is going to be so tricky to have. But timing is one thing that I think the players of Abrupt Slayers have figured out, as all of them, most of the players, 3 players, do make it towards the circle. Oh, fixes. That's going to be a hard break. The circle just moves towards the Fairy Pier area, but this is good as well. The military pitch is still in there. None of the teams actually went to the military island.
Well, I shouldn't have mentioned the Fairy Pier. Well, I did want to see it, but I wanted to see Quarry more, and now I'm a lonely soul. I'm disheartened right now. But nevertheless, let's see how the players are gonna make that shift, because a lot of teams are gonna rotate, and this means that we get to see a lot of action, and that's the end point, right? That's what we all want. That's all the viewers love to see. All those guns blazing action, those vehicular fights, all these teams. Imagine rival crossing a squad and spraying down, blowing up those vehicles. But there you go. The second airdrop coming inside the water, and that has to be AWM. But the suppressor, that's an AR suppressor, man. Just give them a sniper suppressor.
Yep, I mean, the sniper suppressor is going to be pretty important, and if they get it, they are going to be a few happy lads. But for now, I think A1 Esports, they are going to be a bad situation. E2S OPM Hunter has, for some reason, he is just waiting, and he's going to try and wait for his teammates to actually get into position, as A1 Esports, the players on the other side of this ridge. Hunter cooking the nade. This is going to be so hard to land, but if he actually gets a knock from this, that's going to be pretty incredible. All right, no damage being dished out from that nade, but the nades from the players of A1 A1 Esports are going to come in his direction as well. And Steel Shot is going to be the one who needs to be protected right in the middle, needs to fall back, does not have any options to do that. The other players from E2S OPM, they are getting into those positions. Mifsol is just going to be prone down, switches over to FPP and is going to throw this nade towards the players of A1 Esports. I like what the players of A1 Esports are doing right now. They are falling back just slowly and steadily, putting some distance between them and their opponents, which was so important right now. Out in the open, definitely do not want to pick this fight.
Yeah, absolutely. He does not want to pick up this particular fight. But right now, Team High Voltage, they are hungry. They need to be electrocuted. And for them to get charged up, they need a couple of kills. And they've already lost out an assassin, but still does not really stop them from going aggressive at this particular moment. Now things are very tricky for this particular team because they are in a small shack. And if the circle goes all the way up north towards Ferry Pair, they have to make that rotation in. And they have already given the position. But on the kill feeds, we see a lot of kills coming in. Players from Team RisingNepal being taken down already. Team Rivals, they still have a good position right now. But talk about good position, God's Reborn has even a better one.
Yeah, God's Reborn, they always have the high ground against their opponents, but PWP is slow. Tokle is going to take some damage from entry as the M4 spray does connect a few shots, but not enough to get the knock. Now, PWP is slow. They have been made aware of their opponents, and they have taken cover behind that huge rock. That is going to be the thing separating them and the players from God's Reborn. Entry is still trying to spot out these players. It's going to be a really tough situation as the players are positioned right on the edge and now are going to be outside the zone, so they'll be forced to move in. That's where trouble comes in, as the players from Rival X have taken position inside the house. The players in the US are going to be spotted out. The shots come in from Mr. Boros. Some of them do connect, but Windy God X from the backlines is going to be able to provide the cover fire for his teammates to get away safely, as they manage to take the small shack right next to the players of Rivals X and are still going to be alive.
Yeah, they are still certainly going to be alive right now. But oh my goodness, the circle. You know, PUBG Mobile just did not give me Ferry Pair as well. They are definitely, the gods are definitely angry on me. We need to have a lot of chicken today.
Yeah, we
need to offer a lot of chicken. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, the gods of PUBG Mobile are asking for a lot of chicken dinners from these players. Oh, Shoykot was actually... what? All right.
Last Erangel game, dude.
Yeah, last Erangel game for the day. This happens a lot. And I was going to say Shoykot was actually taken down by a vehicle run over.
Right.
Hey,
now.
His name is Windy God X.
Yep.
Makes sense now. That makes so much sense after you look at his name.
Yeah, if he has those ninja abilities out there, certainly, we are gonna see him in some future versions of Naruto. But right now, well, the God's Reborn, they are trying to make their way inside the circle, but we have a fight already going on. Kira against Team Angry Springs, and one villain has already been taken down from a vehicular manslaughter, but Muffin will be falling down to Jade. Golde, the last man surviving for his own squad, and the players are trying to push in. Kurkure, is he going to ram him down? No, Dondai has spotted him down. Dondai will be the one finishing him off, but that's not still the end of the road. They still have to deal with Team Rivals, but now Team Kira, they are going greedy. They want the loot, and going for the loot might just be their demise.
Yeah, going for the loot is definitely going to be the demise, as it is this open area where a lot of teams are going to be in trouble. And we're going to see a fighting style that is similar to the final circles of Sanhok, wherein you do see a lot of players prone down. A lot of teams are going to be surviving to the later stages, and the fights are just going to be plain and utter chaos. Everyone's going to be shot from all these different directions. Look at this. Sinister took down Mifsol, but now A1 Esports, they fall back down as the players of Kira P is Flow were right behind them. Kira P is Flow, they do spot other players from Rivals X, but they won't be able to take the fight just because of the opponents on the other side. Information is going to be so key. Along with information, positioning is going to be so key. If you fire one shot and you get backstabbed by instant, that means you have lost control of your home ground.
Yeah, absolutely. You have lost control, and that's certainly what you would not want. But this circle, throwing curveballs after curveballs has kind of tended to end up in the open. So we are gonna see a lot of quick action right now. But the teams, they have positioned perfectly. But look, talk about curveballs. Look at the map, Johnny. The way the circle has transitioned at the end moment, going all the way up north. Mr. Burrow being taken down by the play zone. Nothing really much to worry about. But Z1 Crazy will be finding Gentleman. He will instantly finish him off. But Entry, he knows he has spotted down Z1 Crazy. One good grenade can seal things off for him. But no, you need to watch where you're going. And Cooney is also joining that compound. Can we see a double knock? But no, that will not be the case over here as they've both decided to go out.
Yeah, and the nade, it was too overcooked, just blew up right in the air. It's not going to hit anyone. From where does this man fall down?
I don't know. He's got a tendency over there. But Hunter will finish off nice 7 from Team High Voltage. But right now, Johnny, what do you think? As Team Phantom do have a possible chance of getting a chicken dinner. Did he just miss out or play?
Yeah, they missed both the players of A1 Esports. Kira, don't stop! Just go! They need to go to a better position. They just got too greedy, stopped in the middle of nowhere to secure the 2 kills from A1 Esports in the rear, and this is going to put them in such a bad position. A1 Esports, they are going to be finished off by them, but just for those 2 kills, that was such a bad decision. It is going to put them in a really, really tricky situation. Look at this, Kurkre was taken down, Jane was knocked down really, really low, and now the teams in the front, the teams in the center of the circle are going to be able to wipe out Kira P's flow as they move in. Tokle, he's driving the car, but we have to see how long can they survive for. In the meanwhile, RisingNepal and Rivals X, they suffer from a similar demise. They will suffer from a similar demise as the teams are going to be forced to come from the top of that mountain and move inside the circle, which is being guarded by the players of Abrupt Slayers.
Yeah, absolutely. This warehouse compound is going to be very, very crucial. Has a lot of buildings over here that the teams can and definitely would want in the circle in this position right now. But Mifsol, he is not stopping down. E2SOPM going for a lot of kills. He's blowing people away. The entire squad of Team RisingNepal has been taken down by Mifsol. This guy's gone bonkers over there. Husky managing to find off Shigar. But look at the situation over here. Abrupt Slayers, just Joker in between 2 containers, and that's all he has. But on his on his beside, we do have Team for Archangels. They do know someone is in the nearby vicinity, and they are well prepared. And High Voltage will be taking an early exit in this one around. But Boom Twice, he is very patient. He knows that there are people, and the moment they are gonna enter inside, he's gonna charge. But no, he is gonna be impatient right now. He is gonna go for the push, but no, there he goes. He's being punished. Oh my goodness, he barely made it inside the safety warehouse. But Legend has been taken down by Abrar. Rafat will finish the leaks off. But with that being said, for Archangels, they have to take a lot of fight. They have to get inside the circle. What are they gonna do?
Yeah, it is going to be a tough situation and a tough decision that they will have to make. But, oh, Legend, that was so unfortunate. Joker had just revived him. As soon as he stood up, I think it was like 2 or 3 milliseconds, he was taken down from the rear, and 4 Archangels and Kira P's floor. It was Kira P's floor. Jane soloing the entire squad of Abrupt Slayers just because they did not know where the shots were coming from. And that is how you punish your opponents for not realizing they have left one lad out in the open.
The little bunny rabbit that Husky is. Oh my goodness, she is being taken down by the predators and will be eaten up. As for Archangels, definitely not angelic this time around. But right now, Team Phantoms, Frypan, oh my goodness, they find themselves in a very good spot. And he has definitely lobbed that grenade and got that knock for himself. The player from Team PWP being taken down over there. But Frypan, just look at him. He is so confident. He knows he can smell the chicken dinner coming for him. But Rafat has taken down a loon from Team E2SOPM. And I would love to see Team Phantom and Team E2SOPM go against each other. These are the end phases of the game. But this is still a unique circle. Talking about unique things, we have a Blue Lobster. I mean, okay, who has taken down a whole squad? DoyenKnightSs, last player being finished off.
Yeah, the Blue Lobster and Lobster are, I mean,
are pretty tasty, but let's see where the claws, like on which players the claws are gonna clench. It's sort of weird seeing a lobster in a wheat farm, in a farm area in general. I mean, I don't know what's being grown over here.
Still, I would still say the same thing. Last game of Erangel.
Yeah, last game of Erangel.
Sums it up.
That has been the trend for a long time. Last game, last Erangel of the day. It's absolute craziness. Kira Peaceflow take an exit from this game. We have Phantom Esports with the highest probability of taking the chicken dinner right now, along with PWP Esports, E2S OPM, and Archangels still surviving. So, 3 teams with 3 players each, and 1 team with all 4 players, 2 of which have been knocked down.
Yeah, and now this is troublesome because once you are taken down inside a shack, one good grenade and boom, there you go. And that is exactly what happened. Shari lobbed that one grenade inside that, and it was a 6-pointer. From the distance that he scored, I would love to give that a 6-point over there. But right now, E2S OPM are still having 3 of their players alive and 9 kills. And Mifsol definitely being the MVP for this particular squad.
Yeah, definitely. Mifsol has been super consistent for a really long time. And it's not just him. It's the entire team. It's the way E2S OPM have turned things around since they came into the semi-finals after the really, really shaky performance from the group stages. But clutching out the chicken dinner in this match is going to be really important for them to prove a point. That's going to be that they will look really strong in the finals. Also, remember, 2 players from Phantom Esports knocked down. Well, they haven't finished. Now, Phantom Esports, from having a really advantageous situation in the game, are sitting at a disadvantage.
I still feel that they can make a comeback happen over here. But Totter did go in for that knock. Chari instantly will finish down Boom twice. So, kills being stolen. This is a story that happens a lot during the final circles. But right now, for Archangels, they aren't giving up at nothing. And this is where UMP with a suppressor really shines. You cannot predict where the shots are coming from. It's just like a VSS, but has a lot of bullets. And, well, let's see. Let's see how he actually utilizes this weapon this time around.
Definitely, we're going to have to see how this luxury weapon is going to be used and how the team and the player, in fact, is going to just try and demolish his opponents with the AAG. But on the other side, the other airdrop was there, and it was reached as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. But right now, SK49, we have to see, he is dropping a few grenades out there. 4 Archangels are being eliminated. Just the last 3 teams surviving. And Daughter. Oh my god. He's got the demon over there.
Yeah.
Just searching for that weapon, and he will have his wishes granted for him. And now that you have a Groza, we want a chicken dinner, my lad. And Rafat, he is still at a good position. He hasn't been spotted out, lobbing those grenades from beneath. You see that small rich cover he has? None of the teams can really, directly kill him.
Well, okay.
Apart from Peter.
Look at this. I really like this. The amount of smokes that are being popped by the teams. That is so good and so necessary. I mean, if you're Phantom Esports, you do not want to do that. You just want to do what actually Rafat is doing. Just stay down and wait for the other 2 teams to fight it out. Just hope they do not that they do not come in your direction and they do not spot you out. The ridge is going to be in your advantage. Even don't throw the nade. Don't do it. He actually throws it. Let's hope he gets a knock. And whoa! He does. Yes! Yes! That's a grenade wipe. Goes on a rampage with that. 4 kills, 1 nade. What an amazing performance by Phantom Esports. And Rafat was the man who made that happen. But Soulz OF BD is going to be taken down. PWP, 3 versus 1 situation. They know where to go for the hunt. Inside the smoke, Rafat is hiding. And he's going to be shot at. It's not going to matter what that man has done. Was pretty incredible. Took down 3 players with 1 nade. The final 3 remaining players of E2S OPM.
Oh my goodness, Rafat, you beauty.
Yeah.
How did he do that?
He was last Erangel.
But we got to we gotta say it, man. That was one of the best, finest grenades. Just predicting, just listening to your instincts, your energy, and that did come out. And courtesy to that one grenade. Now, Team Phantom Esports, they were struggling. Mind you guys, they were in the last, almost at the bottom at the bottom 3 in fact. Now after this game, may as well enter the top 10.
But, well, I think that might actually happen, finishing on the second position with 5 kills on just one lad. And we'll find out how much the team has in total. But that one nade was so incredible. And it feels like this has been the trend in the semi-finals. The states, they starts off quite serious. I mean, the intensity in the very first Erangel is going to be so intense for every single team. The way they are fighting, the way the utility is being used, and how the teams and the players are playing it out. As we move on from that very first game to Sanhok, it just goes up. Miramar, it's gonna or Weekendy, it just makes everyone really passive. But last Erangel, it's absolute craziness whatever happens in the last game of the day. Well, let's have a look at the MVP of this match as well and see which one player was...
Yeah.
Oh, it's Mifsol from the same team.
No. He was the
one he was the one who was taken out.
Phantom
team has Rafat and E2S OPM Mifsol. Yeah, we were talking about him before he got taken out. That's why I got confused.
Yeah, absolutely. Mifsol, I was watching him on the kill feed, constantly dishing out so much damage. 835, very good. 5 kills, amazing. But that one grenade, oh.
Yeah. I mean, as I said, we were just talking about E2S OPM before they got taken out. And yeah, Caster's Curse, and we were talking about how good of a position they were in. We were talking about Phantom Esports, Rafat not throwing that nade, just staying down, just letting the other two teams fight around. I mean, he did secure the points over there, but on the other side, had E2S OPM and the opponents, the team with the chicken dinner, had they actually taken the fight up against each other, there would have been a possibility that Phantom Esports could have tried to go for a backstep and picked up the chicken dinner for themselves, just stolen it from their hands.
You know, what could have really happened over there would have gone in favor of Phantom Esports. They could have deployed a smoke on the left side. They could have, obstructed that vision. Because that grenade does not really give out your position. But we will talk about it just in a few seconds as we take a look at the top 5 players. Can we have Rafat over here?
Well, I think we will definitely have him. And yes, we do have him.
Okay. Throughout the entire map, he just got 300 damage just from that one grenade.
Yeah. 5 kills confirmed, 3 of which came from that one nade. He was sitting on 2 before that. But moving forward, other players as well. PWP, they have 2 players in here, Bolihang and Chari. 7 kills combined for the squad on just these 2 players. And Kirapi's Flow, Jane as well. I mean, those 3 kills. I don't remember the team that was wiped out.
Just below Quarry, just beside Quarry, in fact.
Yes, just on the outer side. And it was just because after the entire squad of Kirapi's Flow charged into those open lands, they were spotted out, but no one thought of finishing off Jane. He just stayed down, let his teammates get taken out, just was focused on the placement points. And that was a good thing. Did secure the placement points as well and did secure those few kill points.
Yeah, absolutely. But they made a lot of mistakes over there.
Yes.
Just to stop over there, just for taking down one squad from behind.
That was A1 Esports, yeah.
Yeah. They were caught out with their pants open and they could not do anything. But now let's take a look at the match summary because we did see some lot of explosive action there. Lot of crazy circle shift. 263 above average.
Vehicle kills. 7 vehicle kills in this match. 6 grenade kills.
When did these happen, man? The first one, we did see that.
Yeah, we did see the first one.
Where did the remainder 6 happen?
Oh, man. Last Erangel, I mean. Smokes and nades, I mean, that was predictable, the way the smokes were being laid out in the final circle. And before that as well, as soon as the circle hit the Ferry Pier area, I mean, I was pretty sure I was going to see a number around 210. 263 above average, quite expected.
Yeah, absolutely. Quite expected. But like you said, if there were, say, around 6 or 7 teams, 300 would have been easily hit over there. But you know, in these circles, we tend to see all these teams going aggressive during the mid-rotation phases. And you cannot blame how the circle threw those curveballs constantly.
I mean, I am going to blame the circle because, I mean, look at this. Originally, it looked like already it's going to be a quarry area. Everyone was getting clustered over there. Moves to Ferry Pier. And moves to Ferry Pier in a way that Ferry Pier is close to the center. So teams start... they take positions on the mountain, they take positions in the city, and then the circle just smacking everyone across the face takes a shift north. Not just that, takes another shift north.
It was wide open.
Yeah, it was wide open, and those things do mess up with the rotations, and that's why we did not get to see too many teams in the final circle. But let's have a look in the standings of this game and see how many points did the teams actually get for themselves. As PWP Esports 27 points, Phantom Esports right behind them with 21.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we got to see so many intense things over there, kind of overshadowing what PWP did. But courtesy to them, amazing performance from their side. But the team that was getting the highest number of kills, that was E2S OPM. And courtesy to Mifsol, who was our MVP. And Kira Peace Flow did have a good game, and I certainly felt they could have done better with the position that they were in. They could have done, but well, that's the thing that we will be talking about in the later stages. But right now, DoyenKnights, a good performance, staying in the top half of the table. But as we move towards the teams that could not really fare out well, that has to be Team HARAME, Angry Springs, and A1 Esports. We had seen them survive for so long.
Yeah.
But along with them, a lot of teams were alive as well.
Yeah, and we were talking about the mistake being made by the players of Kira Peace Flow. A1 Esports made the same mistake. They got too greedy. They were too focused on the players of Rivals X who were coming from the city of Fairy Pierre, and they thought they could pick up those kills. They thought Kira Peace Flow's kills would come to them as well. So it was the holding out to the very last moment outside of the circle that impacted on where this team finished. Had they figured out, all right, we need to move in, this is going to be an open area, and we need to move in north right now, they would have actually either they could have forced the fight against Kira Peace Flow and see if that worked out. Then they could have just gone through to the zone, or they could have just avoided the fight, backed off, disengaged, and then gone for the rotation and gone for the placement.
They certainly could have. And now let's take a look at the kill leaders as to see where these players these are all the standings from the semi-finals. There you go. Abhishek did not play today, but still finds himself on the top position. Imagine him coming into action tomorrow and gets, say, around 10-15 kills.
Well, that's going to be pretty impressive. And 15 kills in one day, I mean, Abhishek, he is going to have to tear up the other teams apart to do that. But I love Aussie. I love the moments that he has given us. But I have to say, today has sort of been a down day for him.
Well, yeah, but you know, with the potential that they've got and the way that they've been performing, yes, I certainly agree with your statement. But coming down the line, we have Rafat, and he deserves to be where he is right now. 18 kills, had a very shabby start, but now they've gotten their acts together, they've pulled off their socks, and the last 4 games that they are gonna have, they have to be really, really careful with that. They have to maintain that good position. But taking a look at the other teams out there, other names out there, we have Shoykot, Kuni, courtesy to that last Miramar game, and Mifsol. No surprises here as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised as well, but a couple of surprising things is going to be the damage done by Rafat, Rules, and Kuni. I mean, 3,500, 3,700, 3,500. So an incredible performance from these lads. And now I think it is going to be time to look at something really important after this. It is going to be the leaderboard, which we will see in a few moments. But one thing that I want to see on the leaderboard is going to be definitely if P and crew are still in the top 8, because throughout the entire day they have just been there, even though they're not playing.
I believe they will be. I believe they will be. And when they come out tomorrow and they have a good outing, they might go on top as well. But let's not further delay, and let's go check out the leaderboard. After which we want to see where Team PWP has climbed. I'm certain they are going to make it into the 2nd position.
Well,
1 point.
Yeah. Well, 1 point difference, and A1 Esports falling down to the 3rd. High Voltage sitting on the 1st position right now, 162 with 12 games played. But look at that. Phantom Esports, they make it here all the way from the bottom, just making it into the top 8. But this is the team that I want to focus on tomorrow and right now as well. P and crew, a day of not playing any games, sitting in the top 7 right now at 109 points. Tomorrow, taking the 1st position, if they can put the same performance as the very last day that they played, that was yesterday. If they can bring in yesterday's matches to today, PN Crew, they will definitely sit on the first position tomorrow, and they will be going into the finals with a really good momentum. But moving forward, let's have a look at the other teams as well. DRS Gaming, Venom Legends, they will have the opportunity to climb tomorrow, as these teams sitting on 12 games have almost just completed the entire journey. Teams from Group A will be playing their final set of 4 matches tomorrow, as we say. 16 games in total in the semi-finals, 12 have been reached. And now, time to have a look at the danger zone.
Yep, the danger zone. There you go. SOLTISQUAD, 42 points. I think it's almost done, but if you have games like for Team Phantom tomorrow onwards, maybe we can expect a comeback. And talking about comebacks, I want to see 7C Esports do well. And even Satan have always showed some promising signs during all the engagements that they take. But, you know, overall, talking about how the teams have been faring about, even talking about Team PN, there is a certain fallacy that is visible over there.
Yeah.
And that is relying too much on Abhishek. Because every single match, that lad has to do so much. So, right now, if the teams, just let's say per se, Team A, goes in and eliminates Abhishek right off the bat, and you're just done over there. You have to be careful. You need to understand it's a team game. 4 players need to play.
Exactly. It is a team game, and if you are going to rely the fragging potential of just one player, other players have to commit a lot of resources and sometimes their own lives inside of the game to make sure that that player is performing to basically the maximum potential. We have seen a lot of teams just play around that and do those exact things, wherein this one star player from the lineup is going to be performing out of his mind, and the other players put in so much effort to make sure that that happens. The support is being provided, so the role of those players becomes important as well. And they still have matches to adapt to the situation and to see if the support can be provided from the other players, or they can completely just go back to the drawing board and come up with a new strategy for the finals and just for now try and qualify for the finals. That is finish in the top 10. But with this, we come to an end of our matches for today. Tomorrow, it's going to be teams from Group A and C fighting it out. My name is Varun Super Johnny John, being joined by Fixes. Before I say goodbye, I have to give a shout out to our sponsors. So this PMCO 2020 Fall Split South Asia Region Semi-Finals is sponsored by the Oppo Reno 4, which has the VOOC 4.0 flash fast charging, the 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage, and 6.4-inch AMOLED display. Clearly the best of you. And with that, it's time to say good night. You guys take care. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching.
But to me, you're clearly the best. Don't touch me. That was close. Don't worry, I've got your back. Ready to rock. Go on, do your thing. Clearly, you are the best. Oppo Reno 4.